to come from this game. And you know what? I'm actually pretty excited because it's against the best. You're not going to get them up against someone who they should go out and beat. They're going to get tested from the very first bounce tonight.
So would they have been quietly happy with that, to get Melbourne first? Have a look at what it all looks like, or everything you've worked on in the pre-season against the reigning premiers?
Well, I think you find out pretty quickly where you are.
Yeah.
And, you know, if in years gone past, that was always against the Tigs on the Thursday night of the first round and fell short a couple of times only by a few kicks. But that was always, okay, that's where we are. That's your benchmark. Tonight, they get it a couple of weeks early. They'll be able to implement some things. I'm not sure Melbourne will be showing their complete hand there, but... yeah, no doubt the Blues will be pretty happy to get it up against the Rainiers.
Yeah, well butchered at the end there, Daisy. Nat Yanidis is down on the boundary. There's an extended bench set up tonight. Can you explain that to us, Nat?
Yeah, so we've got a couple of extra players on the bench tonight. Each club gets 8 interchange players. You must use at least 4 of them, but there is no requirement to use all of them. Also, no Medi sub during the AAMI Community Series and no interchange cap either, so it's a free-for-all.
Thank you, Nat. There's no... physical exertion like your first practice match. You don't blow as hard any time throughout the year as what you do out here in February or March. I mean, you're 15 minutes in and you are looking for an oxygen tank.
You certainly are. And the other interesting thing is that I always hated these. I don't know about you, Brownie, but I hated these games because as a player, and especially the older you get, you sort of felt like you had not a whole heap to gain from it. You know, you were as fit as you were ever going to be. The season's only a couple of weeks away. You really wanted to get through, play okay, but not get injured, which was the main thing. Unfortunately, these days, with so many media outlets, and I know that I got lined up a couple of times late in my career, D. King especially, boy, oh boy, would you have me in the sights, that you cannot go out there and go through the paces. So it will be on. It should be a cracking contest, and I'm really looking forward, mainly to see what the Blues do, not the Ds.
Good evening to David King, if he's listening out there. Ream Hot Water, steady, hot and strong. Install a Ream. We're here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy, not far away. Melbourne up against the Blues, reigning premiers up against a team that for so long has disappointed, particularly since 1995, and hopefully with Michael Voss they've got the right stuff to put out there. We're only a couple of minutes away from getting underway here at Marvel Stadium. What a beautiful night it is. 31 degrees in Melbourne. It'll be a bit wet, bit dewy out there due to the condensation, but the Demons and the Blues are going to put together a brilliant game tonight. Ben Brown had a wonderful end of the year last year. Was in and out of the side at the start, and then manufactured his way in, and they never looked back.
Yeah, he really did get going when they needed him to, and that's why they got him there. Had a really good final series, but not only that, competed really well, brought the Smalls into the game at ground level, so no doubt he'll be looking to carry on that form.
So the road to the title defence starts tonight. There's probably a few Melbourne supporters who aren't sober yet, but that's okay. You can understand they had to wait a long time for last year's premiership. It's a new year, and for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, as Mark Pitnett will do the ruck work against Max Gawn. Nice tap too. At the back is Hewitt. His first game for Carlton. He coming as far as Brayshaw at halfback. The Demons straight away through the corridor. Gawn marks next to the centre circle. As Neil Bullen and then Pickett driving by. We're going to see more midfield time from Cozzy Pickett this year. Mark's been taken by Spargo, 55 metres out from goal. He's not sure what to do. Looks into the pocket. The ball hasn't touched the ground yet since Melbourne got it.
No, they've certainly been crisp. That was straight from half-back turnover, inside forward 50. Oscar McDonald has got the job so far on Ben Brown, which meant that Nick Newman came across. That's why Spargo was in such a big pocket of space there in the forward pocket.
James Jordan, left forward pocket, the sub in last year's grand final. Can take a couple of steps inside to try and open up the angle a little. That's a pre-season kick. Might be all right. Top of the goal square. Brown couldn't mark. Kick around the corner comes from O'Brien.
It's a big high one from O'Brien. It's still inside forward 50 for the Demons, and the ball gets out towards the boundary line, and for the boundary throw in, Viney escorts it over. Big contest by DeConing. A big lump of a lad he. Inspiring sort of physique. So a boundary throw in.
Inspiring.
Demons inside forward 50. McDonald works his way to the front. He's tackled by Pitnett, but he got the handball out. Hooking left foot ball, bouncing into the pocket. Daisy Thomas picks it up. Oh no, it's not 39. It's a new fella, Oscar McDonald down there. He's been playing for a while though.
Is that humour or just an error?
No, it's just humour. You were 39, weren't you?
I was 39. Very good.
I must admit I wasn't sure either.
Sharp early.
Another ball up. 25 metres out from goal.
Mark, thank you.
Pack of players around this one. Ball's lived in Melbourne's end of the ground. Viney off the stoppage. Handballs to Petrarca. Snaps on the left foot. Across the face for a minor score. Triple M scoreboard. The D's one behind. Carlton yet to score. 2 minutes played.
Petrarca kicked the first goal of the grand final last year. McGovern to do the kicking in. Mitch McGovern, the former Crow. Can he step up for the Blues this year? Goes the pretty ordinary footy looking for Cripps, and it's dropped off by Oliver. Back to Petrarca. Another handball. Neil Bullen steps inside and he gets taken to the ground, but out to Ben Brown. Right foot snap across the body, and the Demons have got there first. It was a poor error. The kick was insufficient, and then the Demons got it back, and they make you pay every time. 1-1-7. The Blues yet to score early stages first quarter.
Yeah, well, for a bloke who's gone down there, Brownie, and we're talking about saving careers and building some confidence across half-back and centre-half-back, to take the first kick in of the match, it's good to see the Blues boys get around and give him a pat on the backside, that being Mitch McGovern saying, don't worry about that. But on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, bit off a pretty audacious kick for the first kick in of the match, going to Patrick Cripps. Wasn't on, and as so often is the case, he's the man as you watch Ben Brown kick the goal, the ball going straight back over his head. The Demons have looked sharp, ball living in their end of the ground. See if the centre bounce can maybe see the Blues get some territory out of this one, because I'm not sure it's been inside 50.
Well, it's only 2 minutes in, but they look switched on, Melbourne. This is not just a pre-season game to them from the looks of things. They want to make a statement like they did last week against North Melbourne. Oliver tackle. Cripps got him. He's been pinned for holding the ball. Still inside the centre circle. It's alongside him. A tumbling ball inside 50. A tough one for anyone to hang on to. Silvani ran past it.
High tackle, Melbourne.
And a high tackle will be a Demons free kick.
First one was high.
Jake Lever.
Stand.
Last man on the bottom of the pack. He looks to play the city side.
He looks out for Ben Brown, stretches the arms up, can't take it. Good handball, Spargo. They got the runners on the outside. One bounce. Langdon, he'll go for a second no. Elects to go down half forward, and Fritsch couldn't mark it. Probably should have taken that one, and Williams takes it to the boundary line. Didn't hide it very well, but the umpire says he's going to ball in. Sard in the middle of the ground. Not that long ago, Daisy. Needs to be better than that. Just hacked it on the boot with a barrel inside forward 50, and the Demons players just mopped it up.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the groan that you put out there. He had open shoulders looking inside 50. Harry Mackay coming at him and went the mung torp instead.
5 minutes gone.
Stand.
Melbourne 1-1-7. Carlton yet to score. Free kick. Now the ruck goes to Pitney. Here's Williams. That kick intercepted. There's another groan. Petrarca chopped it off. His kick didn't find the target of Fritsch. The Blues will get another chance to clean things up. Setterfield on the wing. Looks for and finds Fisher, who takes a nice mark.
Another one of those Blues players who've been around for a while, and they'd love for this man to get his wheels going this year. Fisher from half back. Settles on a long one towards half forward. Mackay's there, toe to Silvani. Can't get to the front. Mackay brings it to the ground. Really well done inside forward 50 to get out the back. Maxi Gorn gets back and takes a big mark in front of the Koning. Courageous by the big fella. Is there anyone in AFL football whose stocks riz more than his last year? Even Rose.
Play on. Inside. You.
He's not sure what to do with you at the moment, Brandon.
Play on.
His kick goes out of defence. Jackson, influential in last year's grand final. Nice spin though from Williams. Kept it moving to Kennedy, who kicks truly. That's a bright spark for the Blues.
Yeah, most definitely is. Didn't come from a great passage of play, it must be said, though. The passage before, it was a long ball down the line to a big pack of players, but what the Blues did well, they didn't get outmarked, and we know when Melbourne are at their best, it was Lever who was spare on that occasion, comes across that third man off and intercepts the ball, and then fires up the Melbourne defence from there. Mackay brought the ball to ground on that occasion, good enough Blues everywhere, front and centre where they should be, and that was a pretty nice finish from Kennedy, who looks like he'll be spending a fair bit of time forward, but also maybe pinch hitting through the midfield as he wanders in there now.
Another one of those players with 50 to 100 games experience for the Blues that needs to step up. A nice finish, having a bit of a giggle and a laugh with Petrarca in the middle, just telling him how good was that. Petrarca said, I did it in the grand final with my first kick. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Oliver soccers one out and lands in the hands of Tom McDonald inside forward 50, playing in front of his opponent, and he'll go from 45 out directly in front.
The opponent there being, again, a man who is struggling down back at the minute. I've kept a close eye. It's only the first quarter, so we won't go too harshly on young Mitch McGovern, but there, centre bounce should be arm in the back of, not 2 or 3 metres off, because you need to be close enough for when those hack kicks do come out, as they so often do. Need to be there to force a contest.
In comes the meat eater. Big Tom McDonald from 48. He's normally pretty straight, and that's a kicking style. And he gets the Demons second, 2-1-13. The Blues are 1 straight 6, 7-point margin on the Triple M scoreboard.
We're going to get a look at it here on the Harvey Norman replay. So not being overly critical of Mitch McGovern just yet, because he is learning that role and he is playing on a pretty handy play. But from a centre bounce, you need to understand most likely where the ball is going to go in a hacked situation. And that is that 30 to 40, 45 metre out position, whether it be a high ball or a low mung one like it was on this occasion. So if you're in that position, you need to be arm across your man. If you're on the outer side of that, that's when you can take a piece of the pie, come in and try and help in case it is a long high ball in or a good centre clearance that is nice and clean and crisp. But on that occasion, had the 2 metres of separation, and that's all that was required.
3 goals last week in Melbourne's demolition of North Melbourne in a practice game. It got ugly very quick for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Petrarca dispossessed. Oliver did well, kept it moving forward by hand to Jackson. He's wrapped up. Adam Sard got him.
Carlton, stand. Stay out.
Blues free kick at half back.
You, mate. Stand.
This Cripps, who goes back to Sard. Through the corridor, Pitney, Sard. 1 handball too many. Melbourne swarm on this loose ball. Oliver on hands and knees at halfback. He lost it. Handballs to Kennedy, who's now got Cripps on the left foot. 45 metres out, an awkward wobbly one to the goal square. Joel Smith controls it and uses Lever on the way out.
And Lever with a high ball looking for McDonald. Works his way to the front. That's a strong mark, and he's taken to the ground by young Boyd. Umpire said that's okay, get back over your mark. So from halfback, big Tom McDonald. The meat eater goes to half forward, looking for Ben Brown, gets up high, can't mark it, went back, got it, did really well. Into the middle of the ground. It's a nice little chip ball. Comes in towards Baker, got some space. Can he move it now? He slows it down a little bit, Baker, and now eases his way off towards centre wing and had a little bit of time to get off there. Did really well to Petrarca, just outside forward 50. And he'd have to kick it 55 metres here, Petrarca. A lot of Blues players back, but he looks like he might be settling over a big long bomb. Christian Petrarca, the breakout here from 55, doesn't elect to kick the goal, looks for Max Gawn, flipped over the back, ball alive inside the Demons forward half of the ground, and Spargo picks it up and snaps towards goal. It's not going to be a goal. Carlton players back with numbers, and they go long outside defensive 50.
Kicks to it. 3 on 2, no mark paid to Hunt. Melbourne just seem to have 1 or 2 extras at every contest. Here's Hunt again, trying to bust through. Handball over his head, waiting back there. Pitnet gave a hot handball. Here come Melbourne. Free kick. Going to Petrarca. 20 metres out directly in front.
Well, at the minute, it's just all on the back of the Melbourne pressure. The Blues coming out of the D50 under all sorts of heat, forcing to kick long, and Melbourne, we know how good they are at setting up behind the ball. It's just ping and rebounding straight back in there at the minute.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. A hand on the shoulder from Zach Williams. And Petrarca should have no issues from here. Directly in front to give Melbourne a hot start in this Community Series game. They're only 1 in the lead up to round 1. Oh dear.
That's a shank. That is a dead set cold hosel rocket.
That is off the tee into the trees from Christian Petrarca.
That is the man at point, has dove away to his left and hasn't got a mid on it.
Zach Williams there, the kicking in, looks for DeCone. He gets a long bomb and he can't mark it. He went 3 bites of the cherry, and then the umpire said you got one over the shoulder. He'll get the free kick from half-back, called to play on. Baker runs at him, goes with a short ball looking for Cripps, who smartly just Flipped it over the back and he looked for Kennedy. He got the handball out. Big one inside forward 50. Can they take the mark? Mackay goes back. Got out the back. Picked up off the ground by Durden. And the Blues have got another one. Good movement of play by Carlton. They're 2 straight 12. The Demons are 2-2-14. 2-point lead on a Triple M scoreboard.
Best passage of play so far for the Blues. Got the mismatch out here on their wing with DeConey against the smaller opponent. Did well enough to force the umpire into paying a free kick. It was a bit of a haphazard kick inside forward 50, but young Durden with that explosive pace, the reason they got there front and centre. Kennedy, he's been really lively across half forward there, providing some size, knocking the ball on, setting a few blokes up with handballs. But the crumb, providing the contest, not getting beaten by Melbourne's defence is the key. That's what they did there, gave themselves a chance.
Yeah, perfect thing was hit it with pace, Corey Durden, but he hit it with pace and he wasn't past the contest, so the contest had happened, the ball got out the back, and then he ran from the front of the pack and through the pack with pace. When you get there too early and you run past the pack, it looks like you've got there too early and you haven't really judged it. He did brilliantly.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Back to a 2-point game. Melbourne 2-2-14, Carlton 2 straight 12. And they take it away from the middle. Kennedy, as Daisy said, has been lively. Big fly comes from Mackay. Didn't hang on to it. Melbourne should get out of danger. Baker hacks it out of their defensive 50. Sard tackled as soon as he got it by Neil Bullen. Ball charge free to the back of the stoppage. Umpire lets it go. Oh, he's tried to crash through. Now Neil Bullen at right half back, kicks up the line through the hands of Jackson. Brown there for support. Gives to Viney, wants to get back onto his left foot. Decided to handball now instead. Now Harms on the wing. First clean look at things, and Harms shanks that kick. It's going to roll out of bounds about 45 metres out from Melbourne's goal.
Well, we spoke about what we wanted to see from the Blues pre-game, Brownie, and it was the response when Melbourne got a bit of a run on. They started hot, the Blues could not lay a hand on them. The last 5 or 6 minutes just got it back into that arm wrestle, keeping the ball between the arcs, not getting Melbourne such clean looks going inside forward 50. Big tick from the Carlton coach's box.
Gazy Thomas with the Seabar Super Special comments tonight. Umpire picks out a free kick. It's going to go to the Blues. So the kick is going to go to Pitnet. Numbers so far for Matthew Kennedy.
Matthew Kennedy, number 1 ranked player for Carlton, 4 disposals, 2 score involvements as well.
So Pitnet goes long towards centre wing, looking for DeConey. Got Max Gawn under the ball. Cripps did brilliantly. They push it back towards O'Brien under pressure. There's Chera for his first touch tonight. O'Brien went back, got it back to Chera. The 1-2-3-4, Scotty Westall. Got it back to Paddy Cripps. Cripps with an underground handball. They're making hard work of it, the Blues. Neil Bullen comes in, breaks it up, picks it up. Gets back towards 50, inside forward 50, but only Blues back there. And Nick Newman, the former Swan, has got an acre of space. That is an awful kick straight back to French.
Oh dear. Nick Newman, his first game back from a knee injury. That's another shank. There's been a few of them. They should be okay now. O'Brien changes direction. And Carlton can set up, play the Medallion Club side here at Marvel Stadium. Williams, no mark taken. Let the ball hit the ground. Now Pickett's lurking. Kick comes off the ground. Ed Curnow at half back to Newman. This time decides to handball. Curnow once again to Oscar McDonald against his former team. It could have been a free kick paid to Mackay for a push. It wasn't. Viney takes it and plays on. Kicks to a 2-on-1. Harms outnumbered. Brought the ball to ground. And there's Lewis Young, the former Bulldog, with his first disposal. Carlton made really hard work of this, getting out of defence, and Young just bangs it out of there.
He does. It's a high ball. Looking for Mackay. Can he mark it? No. Hit the ground. Demons players go in. Petrarca's one of them, and a good tackle late on him, and the ball goes out of bounds. Blues are working hard at the moment, but I feel like they're not taking the easy option with the footy.
Yeah, Red's Atlantic stats. Carlton's pressure, 199 pressure factor so far. AFL average last season, 179.
Let's head down to the boundary. Nat Yanides.
Yeah, so Zach Williams has just come down to the bench. He looks like he got a bit winded in that contest there. Came off second best in the bump. Just taking a bit of a breather, but at the moment just looks like he's winded.
30 degrees, Marvel Stadium, boundary throw-in. Max Gawn laid it down. Chera went there, couldn't get it. Picked up by Viney. He was tackled. Chera went back in. George Hewitt picked it up. Quick handball. Tumbling ball towards centre wing, and Bailey will get there first and take it out of bounds. Bowie. Let's reset. 2 straight 12 for the Blues, 2-2-14 the Demons. Good start, 16 gone. Centre wing ball.
We do need a decent discussion on that Nick Newman kick at some point as well. Just put that in your notes.
Mark that down.
Oh, boy.
Going to need a few minutes at half-time, I think. Sard. It's back onto his left foot. That's a scrubber. To Brayshaw, who was waiting on the wing. Chisels a kick to Jackson. 60 metres out from goal. He's got Brown working back. And Gawn trying to do the same. Carlton was set up behind the ball, and there's Mitch McGovern.
Yeah, he did that really well. Had Max Gawn for an opponent, but played the space, not the man. Knew that the pull kick was going to come and used his athleticism to intercept.
Demons by 2 points. 17 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Cripps used his body on Lever. Didn't hang on to the mark. Now Silvani thrown to ground. Strong tackle from Lever. And O'Brien brings down Jordan. And it'll be a free kick to Melbourne, right in front of the bench.
He was stiff. Jordan will get the free kick. Interesting role, Max Gawn and Jackson play at the moment. Jackson patrolling the back half of the ground ruck work. And then Max Gawn just the front half and long ball looking for that man, Max Gawn. Ben Brown gets to the front. At hands and knees, at the ground level picked up. No one can get an easy kick out of there. Ben Brown did really well, got the handball out, looking for Pickett, couldn't find him. Kennedy's been brilliant so far, picking the ball up and shoveling it back. The Blues under pressure. They go wide to O'Brien, but really well done from the back, but a free kick picked out. Hands in the back against Jordan, and the Blues will get the ball, and it's going to be 50 metres. And he's away.
Well,
he's in a stall gift. He's doing 100 metres.
He needs to think his way through this, but he's done it well. He's run into the back of Jack Viney, so he's going to
really
get 100.
well. He's going to go. That's 100, Daisy. He's got 100.
He'll have a shot.
And Jack Viney's going, what happened?
So the rule being there, once you get your first 50, every player has to clear the 5x5 metre radius. Viney did not, or you have to make an attempt to stay in front. O'Brien sprinted into the back of him. Lured the umpire
He is sucking it in at the moment. He has just done a 100-metre dash.
An elite runner.
Is he?
Shouldn't be an issue.
Well, he's had 8 disposals so far. He's been very good. Left foot. What's his finishing like, Daisy?
Doesn't miss this. Elite runner.
Left foot from 40 to take the lead for the Blues. He's pretty happy. And the Blues get their third, 3 straight 18. The Demons 2-2-14. 4-point margin for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M. Rock footy.
Well, I was about to say he needs to think his way through this, as he did put his head down and go for that stall gift-like start, but he knew what he was doing a lot better than what I was thinking he was going to do up here, because the Melbourne defence, there were 7 of them to 1 Carlton forward, inside forward 50. However, he had the nous and the presence of mind to milk the double 50 off the umpire. I'm not sure how many times that happens in a game, let alone a season, Heath. That's one for you on the Red Z Lendings. But he thought through it really well. And that's why you do the pre-seasons, that's why you do your kicking under fatigue, that's why you have a good routine, because he went back and slotted it for a nice finish.
Well, what I can tell you on the Reds, it's Carlton dominating around the ball, plus 8 contested ball, last 5 clearances of the game, leading 8-3 in that stat as well.
I tell you what, Two-Man probably would have had that on hand.
Too soon for the Two-Man, unfortunately. That relationship is now in tatters.
Is he still with us, Two-Man?
It's like when Rocky was training that protege, challenged him to the fight in the bar. Two-Man bought him from nothing. Now it's red hot. Kennedy, he's red hot in this first quarter. Can get it back. Straighten up. 40 metres out. Kept it low. Misses. They're having a good 5 minutes here, the Blues.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've responded really well, and it's all been on the back of some contest work. They've gone the bigger bodies in there. Cripps, Kennedy's been in there. Chera and Hewitt are starting to have an impact on the game as well. Really nice response from the Blues.
Straight down the middle of Marvel with a long one. Getting up high was McGovern. The spill came down to George Hewitt. Handball, chain of them. Got out to Setterfield. It came from Chera. Setterfield to half forward. First time we've seen McKine, a big long lead, and he marks it. So he turns around, and what's he got to go to? He's normally the man they want to kick it to. He has to kick it in. De Koning's back there. He flies to Koning. Can't mark it. Ground level Owies. Got it out Durden. He's been sharp. He's been good. Gets it out. A really good kick. And he gets it back to Fisher. And Fisher to go for 3 in a row for the Blues.
Well, it's obviously been a really clear game plan from the Blues coming into this one. When they do have to go long down the line and slow inside forward 50, the blokes who are going up to compete aren't trying to mark it there, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay. De Koning it was. Knew Max Gawn was coming in from the side. Just put the 2 hands forward, the soft drop, brought the Smalls into it.
It's going to be a 50-metre penalty for abuse, I heard the umpire say over the mics.
From T-Bone, the state man.
Who's T-Bone?
On the line.
your boy Tommy McDonald.
Oh, he loves a steak. Eats 6 kilos a week as Zach Fisher bangs through another one for the Blues. And they hold a nice little lead before quarter time. 4-1-25. Carlton are 2-2-14. The Demons. Triple M rocks footy.
Well, Fisher's a really talented young player who is getting to that point, and like so many of these players we spoke about in the pre-game, someone who needs to take his game to the next level. He came in and he got a lot of midfield opportunity. He's been given a few tastes throughout the centre clearances tonight and around those centre bounces. But he's someone who's got his fitness up, needs to just hone in on that role as the small forward, as he did on that occasion, but apply maximum pressure when you're down there. Get to the feet of the big guys, make the most of your opportunities, understand that's your role, and then when you get some time through the midfield, make the most of that as well.
Triple M Reds, Heath.
George Hewitt, 9 disposals, most on the ground, has more clearances than Melbourne do, leading 4-3.
Durden's been sharp too. 173 centimetres of him. That's little.
From McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. That's about my height, Brad. In fact, that's probably taller than me. Oliver. My hand to Viney. That is little. That left half back. He kicks to no one in particular. Young mops up. He gives to Williams. He's tight on the boundary line. Viney. He's got caught up with the Fox footy cameraman and taken out the barbecue chair with it. And it was out of bounds on the full before that. Interesting, we've had 2 50-metre penalties already for abuse. That is going to be, in the first month of the season, we're going to see a stack of those. Viney. It's Petrarca. Now Jordan had to go back and get that handball, but had time.
Clear it out, stand.
McDonald 70 metres out from goal. Spears at Brown, who couldn't mark. It sat on his head beautifully. Assad, again, just bangs it away.
It's a high up and under ball to Koning. Sits underneath it, can't mark it. Oliver was good, his hands were sharp. Baker, left foot, trying to squeeze something out, and he couldn't get it there. And the Blues will pick this one up. Nick Newman, his handball was wild, went straight back to Oliver. Oliver played for the free kick, Setterfield gets it out. Boundary thrown at half forward. Interesting kick inside forward 50 before, where he had Pickett on his own, elected not to go to Pickett in the pocket, except go to a 50-50 ball to Ben Brown.
Yeah, and it was a flat sort of kick too, wasn't it? Just need a little bit more elevation to set the defender up. Didn't mind the idea of it, but probably just take the easy one and lace out Pickett in the pocket.
9-point lead to the Blues. Very good, Dace. Thank you. You've had an outstanding summer. You brought that form to Triple M footy tonight as well. To Koning. Hits up to the footy on the wing. Hard running from Owies, who now can mark. He had to get his kick away and did. Just in the nick of time. Silvani opens the door for Durden, who kicks his second. 4 unanswered goals for the Blues.
Really nice passage of play it was, and some clever work there. So initially from Feathers Mackay, taking his opponent back to the goal square, allowing that big pocket of space for Owies to go back with the flight and run into, allowed him so much time that he actually dropped it, had enough time to pick it up, put himself under more pressure than he needed. But then the second kick that was intended for Jack Silvani worked his man off the ball in the Harvey Norman replay, and good enough there for young Durden to go in and kick another one.
Wreaking havoc, number 19, Corey Durden. If you ever heard a lot about him, he's only played the 2 games. What can you tell us about him?
Well, Corey Durden, yeah, just the 2 games, but number 1 ranked player on the ground so far tonight. 5 disposals, 3 score involvements, score assist, and the 2 goals.
19 years of age from South Australia, Central Districts. He's making his mark tonight. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. The Blues have got 4 on the trot against the reigning premiers in the middle of the ground. Picked up by Sparrow. Got some space here. Max Gorn, the bounce wasn't great though. Went back, got it. Quick bounce and inside forward 50 they go, the Blues. Or the D's. The Blues have got the numbers, I should say. Trying to sock it out of midair. Bailey Fritsch went back and got it. He just eased it out in front of his teammate there, Neil Bullen. But just took a little bit easy and the ball hit the deck. Wild handball comes out and the ball goes out of bounds on the full. Unluckily off the foot of the Carlton player who was buoyed, and the free kick's going to go to Chompers Harms.
Pretty unlucky there it was. He made the play, slipped through his hand and then back-heeled it.
Where you are, mate.
So Chompers Harms, he's had that haircut today. You can't get it that sharp without doing it on the day.
Back on TV now.
Back on TV, Thursday night footy. You can't see that on Triple M though, but I tell you what, it's sharp. And Chompers sets it up. It's not going to be a goal. Goal square type of stuff. Cripps off hands. Hooks it back as far as he can. Chompers will go back and get it again. can't mark it. The ball close to the boundary line. Baker can't pick it up.
He was unlucky not to be paid that mark, Harms. Now it's out of bounds. Tick under 4 minutes left in the opening quarter. Carlton 5-1-31. Melbourne 2-2-14. On the Triple M scoreboard. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Tomorrow night, the Western Bulldogs take on Brisbane as they begin their 2022 campaigns.
That's a ripping game.
A couple of good ones to start with. Saad. He's been busy in the opening quarter. What are his Reds, Eds? Heath?
Adam Saad, 7 disposals so far, 149 metres gained as well.
And Newman on the outer side wing. Injured his patella in round 2 last year. That was the last that we saw of him. Drives long. Lever dropped that mark. Gawn was there to support. They found a way through here, Melbourne. Brayshaw, outer side wing. Kicks on the left foot. Wasn't to the advantage of Brown, and that's easy pickings for Oscar McDonald.
Great number 39, Oscar McDonald. He's got players lateral, legs not to go there, so he's going to have to go back down the outer wing and long and hope for someone to take a mark out there, but the only man there was Max Gawn, and he did it really well. So Max to half forward. The running man Langdon can run, but ran out of room on this occasion. The ball goes out of bounds. Half forward.
Not sure if that's a directive from the bench, as I see down there, the Carlton bench holding up the sign with 3, so obviously letting the players know there's not a lot of time left, or if that was more an on-field initiative that, hey, we've had a really good 5 minutes here, let's lock it onto one side and get the ball back into a contest.
Cripps out of mid-air, hacks it, gets 50 metres with it, trying to come up at the footy with Silvani. Can he take it? He can't. The Demons in support now with numbers. Smith gets back, almost hatched it, got it out the back. Oliver laid a big tackle, he whacked him around, he gets it back to Demons. Now they're on the run from half forward, they go down towards Ben Brown. Ben Brown with a big push out, should have been a free kick, and it is. No, Ben Brown's going to get a free kick. I can't believe that the umpire got sucked in.
Makes for an interesting Harvey Norman replay. Not sure there was a free kick there to Brown. 60 metres out. Kicks into the pocket. No real marking target. Petrarca. His handball chopped off by Saad, who tried to take on the tackler and got away with it.
See, that's an interesting one under the new interpretation of holding the ball. We saw the very first centre bounce. Oliver try and put a little bit of a stiff arm out, got pinned. On that occasion, Saad got into his spin move, but the umpire rather forgiving.
Ball up, 20 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Cripps had his kick smothered. Ball bounces around. Oscar McDonald tries to slap it away. Oliver dispossessed as soon as he took possession. Kennedy misses Williams. He's all the way back to the last line to pick it up. He's taken forever. And Petrarca takes him over the line instead.
Bit of a push and shove out there, Days.
Yeah, a bit of afters there. Paddy Cripps absolutely loves it. Been humming from all reports. He'll be someone who'll be looking to bounce back. Hasn't had the seasons to his lofty standards, but had excuses. Not overly easy, I'd imagine, Brownie playing with a broken back.
No. You can smell footy in the air coming through the box here at Marvel Stadium. It's just got that footy feel to it at the moment. I like it. It's nice and warm in March, but you can smell footy.
You certainly can. There's a bit of energy out there. The players got a bit of biff and buff in there as well. It's all happening.
Biff and buff.
You know the drill.
Silvani from half-back. Is his first touch?
Sorry, Jack Martin, yeah, first disposal.
Yeah, that's Silvani. Different bloke. But
Second disposal
you
for
just
Silvani.
pick out whoever you want. Max Gawn at half-back. So the Blues have had a really good first quarter into the last minute. They lead by 16 points. Young Durden's been very good. Kicked a couple. Kennedy's got one. Fisher and O'Brien. So all the young players getting on the end of it at the moment. And the ball goes down towards half-back, and McDonald juggled it, couldn't mark it. The ball went underneath the pack at 50. The Demons would love a late one. Silvani got it again. Hacked it on the boot towards centre wing. A bouncing ball. Mackay ushers it over the boundary line. Outer side centre wing. That's the City side. With a boundary throw in.
So 47 seconds left on the clock. A really good time here for Carlton to implement some stuff they've worked on, because they've had a really good 15-minute patch after Melbourne started well. You don't want to concede one late now and undo some of your really good work you've done to get yourself in this position.
And you go back to last year, Daisy, this happened all the time for Carlton. Late in quarters, they concede a goal, give the other team some momentum going into the next quarter. Ball in dispute inside the centre square. Neil Bullen couldn't find the target. And Hewitt He's going to get it back again. He's at half back. Careful kick is okay. To Kennedy. 20 seconds left. They can go if they want to. Or they can hold it up. Martin looks for the little kick to Zach Fisher. And the message has come out from the bench. No risks. Take a lead into quarter time, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
It's a big quarter of footy for the Blues. They've kicked 5 in the first quarter on the reigning premiers. They're 5-1-31. Melbourne at 2-3-15. The Robert Heatley stands getting excited for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream.
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
Australia's celebrity goggle box aired last night. Did anyone watch it?
No.
Anthony Kalia revealed his embarrassing encounter with Shane Warne, asking him once if he was a batter or a bowler. Warney would have hated that.
He probably would have said both.
He did get 99.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Tradies, at National Tiles we know how extra valuable your time is in this current building boom, so we've streamlined how quickly we can serve you. Just go online and order from dozens of National Tiles, adhesives, grouts and tools for immediate delivery or pickup. No waiting, no delays. Yes, at National Tiles our tradies are our VIPs, where we consistently strive to save you time and money every day of the year.
Thinking of cracking a cold one? Thirsty Camel has you covered with Beer Bonanza. Right now, you could win a share in over $50,000 worth of prizes. Just spend $30 or more on any participating beer, including Great Northern Super Crisp 24 packs, $47.99, and Bolter XPA 4 packs, $16.99 each, or 2 for $30 for Hump Club members. Enter online for your chance to win daily. For all the details or to find your nearest bottle shop, visit thirstycamel.com.au. Ends 20 March. T's and C's apply.
The countdown's over.
For the first time ever,
And there's the first try.
Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands compete in the Super Rugby Pacific competition.
Looking real good.
The only place to watch every match.
Unbelievable.
Ad-free, live and on demand. Super Rugby Pacific, now streaming on the home of rugby, Stan Sport.
Tools! Sydney Tools! Sydney Tools Back to Work sale is on now! Estwing 20-ounce claw hammer now $79, save 11%! Milwaukee 18-volt fuel 10-piece combo kit just $29.9. Crazy deals on combo kits, hand tools, air compressors, laser levels, welders and much more. Makita 18-volt 3-piece combo kit now $9.99 and score a free blower. Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed. Limited time only. Shop in-store online. sydneytools.com.au.
The new Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra breaks the rules of smartphone innovation. Pre-order yours today and you can save up to $1,320 only at Vodafone. Just trade in an eligible device and stay connected to a selected Vodafone plan. Plus, choose your bonus Samsung gift valued at up to $337. Why wait? Head into a Vodafone store and connect today. Value based on trading credit for eligible Samsung device plus bonus credit and bonus gift. Powered by Azure and offer ends 3rd March. T's and C's apply.
How does it feel to save up to $500 on a new phone at Officeworks? Imagine Christmas, a surprise birthday party, and your team winning the grand final all rolled into one. Like that. Woohoo! At Officeworks, we have the latest devices at everyday low prices. But with our Optus bundle bonus, you can save up to $500 on a new phone. Just add an eligible Optus SIM plan. Terms and conditions only available online at officeworks.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNugget pack.
We're at Marvel Stadium for the Blues and the Demons, and the Blues have kicked 5 in the first quarter and lead by 16 points. And the Blues are excited. 5-1, 31 to 2-3, 15 for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. It was a really good first quarter by the Blues. Let's get all the stats on the Triple M Red Z lenders.
Yeah, interesting one for Carlton. They're actually losing the territory and pretty convincingly as well. Down 8 inside 50s. Melbourne 73% time in forward half that term. But we're Carlton dominating all around the ball. Plus 12 contested ball. Plus 11 ground ball gets more than double the clearances. Leading 13-6 in that regard. It's all their mids. George Hewitt, 12 disposals, most on the ground. Matt Kennedy, 9 and a goal. Paddy Cripps, number 1 ranked player on the ground with 9 disposals, 5 tackles as well. For the D's, Crispin Petrarca, their leading ball winner, 9 disposals, 3 score involvements. Clayton Oliver, 8 disposals as well.
Daisy Thomas on the Seabus Super Special comments. How have Carlton done it? They were under the pump early, but they responded and kicked the last 4 of that first quarter.
Yeah, we said that's what we wanted to see. It was when Melbourne got their periods of time when they were going to clearly be on top, and they're going to get those throughout the match. It's still going to come in this second, third and fourth quarter. It's how the Blues responded, and after that first 5 minutes, they could not get a glove on the Ds. The Ds were crisp. They used the ball well. But those numbers around the midfield, and that's what Michael Voss will be loving, and we were talking in the pre-game of what we hoped that he would bring to this Carlton football side. And they've gone back to the old-fashioned win the ball in the middle, win it hard and tough in the contest, and get the game going from there. Yes, they're losing the territory battle. They're losing the inside 50s. You won't be overly pleased with that because you can't just keep plugging holes down there all night. But if you get on top through the midfield like they did, they gave themselves some chances. And for the first time in a while, it was the ease of scoring which the Blues were able to do out the back. When you look at their goal scorers from last year, it was Mackay who kicked 58. Eddie Betts then was the next with 27, and then fell away pretty quickly down to Owies and Cripps. They've had some different looks. Mackay hasn't set the world on fire by any stage just yet. Fisher's kicked 1, O'Brien's kicked 1, Durden's been lively as well. So different avenues to go, very pleasing for the Blues. But by no stretch are we at all concerned, I wouldn't think, about how the D's have started.
Early stages running at March 3, but the Triple M family have spoken. Jared Underwood at Jazza Mate 16. Nathan Brown in great pre-season form, quality listed on Triple M, and Daisy's going well too.
Yeah, we love that. A good bit of feedback.
Let's head down to Nat on the boundary, who's starring as well.
Gents, the icy towels were out at the quarter-time break. It's still pretty warm down here for the players. Also, how good is it to see Michael Voss back out there? Of course, gets his second opportunity as a senior coach. Said during the week that the enormity of this job has not been lost on him, and it certainly is a big task given the popularity of the Carlton Football Club and just where they've been in the last couple of years.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. I'd love to go back to that tweet a little bit later on, Brownie, if we can. It's Kennedy. Wobbly ball, had a good first quarter. I think not his best one. Bounce off the chest of Bowie. Now he can open up the middle of Marvel Stadium. Here's Bailey Fritsch, runner-up in the Norm Smith medal in the grand final. And any other year, if you kick 6 goals in a grand final, it's just about a shoo-in for the Norm, but wasn't to be. Pickett. Kick, not great. Mitch McGovern starting to get to the right areas a little more.
Yeah, he certainly is. Looks like he's picked up the pace of the game, but also where to go, when to lock down on the man, which he was struggling with a little bit early. But also that weight of number of ball that was coming in makes it very difficult when you are trying to find your feet down there.
It's his second intercept mark for Triple M Red Z Lending.
Certainly is, Brownie.
So boundary thrown on centre wing. The Blues files the Demons too. 16-point margin. Chera couldn't take it. Went back, got it, did really well, but then went over it again. Off the ground towards Petrarca. O'Brien gets there first. Petrarca lays a big tackle and it's wrapped up. Let the ball up. So Picknett up against Gawn. Big Max comes in. He'll try and jump over the top of him here. He does. He flicked it out the back to Vine. He did really well. James Jordan, it was a bit hot for him. Bowie comes in, picks it up. What an end to the season he had. High ball inside forward 50, looking for Jackson. Fisted away, and Saad takes it across the boundary line.
7 games, 7 wins and a flag, Brownie, for young Bowie.
That's really good, isn't it? That's good going.
That is probably as good as it gets. Selwood-esque sort of numbers.
So thrown in. Gone. Nice tap down for Jordan. Neil Bullen, 60 metres out, kicks quickly. McGovern flies and got it out of bounds. Did his job. Forces the throw in.
So at the moment, Mitch McGovern's not playing on anybody, and he looks more dangerous. So maybe that's the way they want to play him. Tom McDonald at the moment on the bench, so he doesn't have a direct opponent, which he had Tom McDonald early. He looks much better when he can just pick up anyone he wants.
Carlton 5-1-31. Melbourne 2-3-15. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Gawn comes crashing through and picks it up in motion. Blazes towards goal. It misses everything. It's out of bounds on the full.
It's interesting how long that will last, though, Brownie, because that obviously means that Melbourne up the other end, looks like it's Tomlinson has manufactured the spare. And we know that, yes, Mitch McGovern has had some impact in this second quarter playing as the spare, but I'd imagine that suits Melbourne better with how they defensively structure up, and they're one wood from what we saw last season.
Daisy Thomas on the Seabar Super Special comments. Nick Newman's got it, been good early. Long left foot ball towards centre wing, looking for centre field. Can't mark it, should have marked that, but he's good enough to get the handball and then give it straight back to Oliver. Oliver, outside of the hand, he gets it towards Lever. Lever goes one way, then the other. Handball goes back. Low darting ball, looking for Viney. Went up high. Oliver was there too. The ball's out of bounds on the Demons' half-forward line. And the Blues lead by 16 points. Early stages, second term. Oliver takes a while to get up.
Mark, just keep that
So he's a bit winded. He'll be okay.
Right half forward this throw in. Kennedy gets through traffic to Chera. He's starting to build his way into this game. Here's Owies. Handball's off to Martin. Broadcast wing. Beautiful kick from Mackay. Just couldn't hang on to it. Got Tomlinson trying to keep him away from the footy, and it's knocked out of bounds. About 60 metres around from Carlton's goal.
So the Blues' dominance around the ball has meant the D's have had to react. We've got Oliver, Viney, Petrarca in there, and they're sending an extra up now. I think it's Jordan to come up as players an extra number in and around that stoppage as well.
Carlton 5-1, Melbourne 2-3. The second quarter's been going 4 minutes.
Yep, back 1 metre, back 1 metre.
Free kick to Cripps out of the stoppage.
Play on.
55 metres out, takes advantage of the stand rule and kicks long. Kicks really long. 5 in a row for the Blues. They're controlling this game.
They certainly are, and how good is it to see a fit, firing, looking rather lean too, Paddy Cripps. Just someone who loves to compete. Hopefully his body can hold up throughout the season, because if the Blues are to improve, he's going to be someone who's going to have a big say in it. But they've got all the answers at the minute. The Demons sending an extra up around the stoppage. The Blues not so worried about that. Pitnett doing a good job of just knocking it down in front, playing to the strengths of those big Blues. And Paddy Cripps on that occasion, good enough to take the advantage and bang it home.
Yeah, Paddy Cripps, Red Z lending stats, number one ranked player on the ground, 11 disposals, 4 clearances, most of any player, 6 tackles, as well as that goal.
He couldn't do that last year. Couldn't do it because of his body. So he had the ball 60 metres out. And to paint a picture, Christian Petrarca was about 52 out on the mark, and he just darted off on a 45-degree angle and got to about 52 and banged it home. Good signs for the Blues. For McDonald's and Reemont Water, Triple M Rocks footy. They've got the last 5. Gone. Handball. Missed the target. Went back. Tried to get it. Chera was there as well. George Hewitt's handball to the outside. The Blues are humming at the moment. O'Brien. Left foot ball towards centre field on the opposite wing. Did really well. Got runners everywhere. One of them, Silvani, went over the top of him. Kennedy's run a mile to get this one at half forward. He's been the best man on the ground so far, Kennedy. He's been brilliant. 55 out. They're getting excited, the Blues. They've kicked the last 5. Kennedy puts it to the top of the square. Where are the Flyers? Pitnett's there. To Cunning from the back. Can't mark it. It got out the back to the running man, Langdon. And he kicks it out of bounds on the full. The Blues will put it back with interest.
They're under pressure. Daisy, the Blues? The Demons, sorry?
Yeah, they certainly are. You just love to see this kick. That last kick from Kennedy, it was very predictable. He's got Cripps in the pocket. He just pulled a little kick to him, maybe.
Kept it a little lower. Didn't really favour De Koning. Bowie misses his target by hand altogether, and that's out of bounds. We know it's a pre-season game. We know that Melbourne certainly won't be going at 100%, but if you're a Blues fan listening to us, there is a lot of promise with the way that your team is playing right now. 6-1-37 they lead to Melbourne 2-3-15. Petrarca on defensive 50. Handball's out into space. That ball didn't sit for Neil Bullen. Open the door for Curnow. And Newman working back to McGovern. Inside the centre square. Nice kick into space. And Kennedy got back into the hole. He's been everywhere. What are his Reds there, Teeth?
Matt Kennedy, 14 disposals. This will be number 1 on the ground.
Looked like he may have corked a buttock in that marking contest as well. He is tough, though. They call him the Bison. Not only does he look like one, he's tough like one as well. That's on the Harvey Norman replay.
Thank you.
Is it good to be described as a bison, you think?
Well, it's more because if you ever look on the Harvey Norman replay, his hair is almost growing over.
Yeah.
You know the bison get the fringe
Yeah.
going?
Oh, yeah.
So when he grows it out, he does that. But they're also rather tough too. We've seen some vision of them just charging at things head on.
There's worse nicknames than a bison, let's just say that. Kennedy kicks it's straight into the post.
Thanks, guys.
One of those Jonathan Brown haircuts where it almost meets his monobrow, doesn't it?
One more. Thank you. You can move.
I'd like it that way rather than all the way back, Hev.
Sometimes you don't have a choice in it, Brownie.
So the Demons bring
You
the
want
ball
the
back into play. Something similar. Called finasteride. Served me well. 15 years and counting. Inside forward 50 goes Newman. Got out the back. The Demons under pressure again. Handball. And the ball goes out of bounds for Kennedy. So the Blues lock it in. 38 plays, 15, 23-point margin. 8.5 gone in the first term. Michael Voss will be very happy with what he's seen so far.
Paddy Cripps has called young Durden up here too, boys. So just watch for a little block or some movement around this one.
So a boundary throw in. Daisy on the C-Bus Supers has caught it. DeConing got it out and Cripps almost got it. Elected not to go back and get it, and the ball goes out of bounds again.
Tom, you going up again? Tom and Luke.
8.5 minutes played in the second quarter. Melbourne's last goal was the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. At that stage, they led by 7 points and had all the makings of potentially getting a bit nasty for Carlton. They've sprung into gear since then. And McGovern playing in front of McDonald. Marks. And left half forward. Game number 82. Oh, 81 games, I should say, played for Mitch McGovern. The time is now for him. Long ball for Mackay. No mark.
Play on, play on.
Melbourne just dropping balls and making mistakes that they wouldn't normally make. Sparrow that time gave it up. Jordan taken towards the boundary line. It's off a couple of feet. Who did it catch last? It was off Joel Smith.
Must stand on the line.
It'll be a Blues free kick, Newman. From just inside the boundary line.
Free kick in the back.
He might have sold this one pretty well.
I think it's the arms around that'll do the defender in here. Smith, it is down there. As soon as you put those arms around, you find yourself in a spot of bother, and that's the cue. Mackay did try and play for the push as well. As we get a look on the Harvey Norman replay, the umpire signalling for the arms around the waist. Yep, and that's what's brought him undone. Tomlinson it was, and there'll be another 50 for abuse.
That's 3 for Melbourne in a quarter and a bit.
And these are the things you won't like as a D's coach's box, because these are the discipline things, these are the little things when you go from being a good side to a great side that you have to pride yourself on and not letting them creep in.
The Coleman medalist kicks his first. Carlton are all over Melbourne. 6-2-38 to the reigning premiers 2-3-15, and with that goal takes them to 7-2-44. 10.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. Daisy Thomas on the Triple M C-Bus Supers.
Yeah, well, Adam Tomlinson asking for a pretty decent explanation as to why it was a free kick. Mackay got the separation.
I like the umpire having a chat. We just saw the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, and they had a really good, probably 30-second chat about the whole thing. So I like the explanation from the umpire.
As do I, Brownie, because that's how you get the respect from the players and, you know, the back and forth between it. So it probably takes the abuse out, and going forward now, he knows exactly where he stands to do. But the arm around, that's just carried on clearly from last season. That's a cue for the umpires to pay the free kick.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Blues have kicked the last 6. They've taken a flamethrower here to the Demons. Back in the middle. Chera picked it up, was tripped up. That'll be holding the ball in the end. He was unlucky. And the umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go to the Blues. The non-officiating umpire picked it out. It's going to go to Chera. And they are running all over the top of the Demons at the moment. Chera the long ball. Where are the Flyers? Silvani from the front. Can't mark it. Got out the back. The Demons under the pump again. Wide ball. And now they get a chance just to ease the ball from half back towards centre wing. And a good lead by McDonald. And he marks it.
Stand! Clear it out.
Carlton have got their numbers back.
Play on, you're on.
So not much for McDonald to work with ahead.
You, mate.
He's not sure, brings it back into the corridor.
Stand.
Oscar Baker. In the 3 games last year. Tough team to break into, but had some injuries and form deserted him at the wrong time. Kennedy back in the hole, takes a fantastic mark. Forward back, he's covering all sorts of ground. And Lewis Young, 24 games as a Western Bulldog. As O'Brien, that kick's touched on the way through. Still plenty of time for Newman. And Silvani, a 1-on-3, flies and got it to ground. And it's off hands and out of bounds. Carlton 7-2-44. Melbourne 2-3-15. 12 and 3/4 minutes played in this second quarter.
Are you happy with what you're seeing from the Blues defensively, Brownie? Really got Melbourne stuck on one side there?
Yeah, definitely. After the first 5 minutes, it looked like a bit of an onslaught. Since then, I think the midfield, their pressure's been really good, and it's helped the defenders as well. So the boundary throw in on centre wing. Tomlinson leads out, can't get the ball away to a teammate because Matty Owies came in, got it to Chera. Chera left foot. Here comes Mackay. Big mark. Set himself, and that's the first time he's had a really good run and jump at one. And he's 45 out, 45-degree angle.
So just back to that point, the D's on this outer side here, looking to try and go somewhere else. McDonald looked up, he had nowhere to go, got called play on, couldn't go round, couldn't go through, ended up kicking the ball long down the line where Kennedy had manufactured himself as the +1. But the impressive thing I like was then the Blues were able to make the ground big. They went the switch early to O'Brien, who then came back through the corridor. On the back of that, made the ground big, hard for the D's to defend.
Mackay for back-to-back goals, and the Blues 7 in a row. Starts it right, comes back, hits the post. One behind. 5-goal margin. 7-3-45 the Blues, 2-3-15 the Demons. That's on the Triple M scoreboard.
Daisy, what's Melbourne's mindset at the moment? I mean, they're the reigning premiers. They've got bigger fish to fry, but 30 points is 30 points.
Yeah, it certainly is. Look, they'll be trying to get some things going. This isn't one of them, as McGovern. Carry on, we'll pick this up.
He chops it off, plays on quickly. He kicks to the discipline area. Oh, he's the smallest man in the pack. Stuck a hand out, and it's stuck.
Loves a goal too. Very good celebrator, Matt Owies.
Big time celebrator. They're almost taking it here, the Blues. That was the smallest man in a pack of 5, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay. He put a left mid up, and Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
It just stuck. I know that, Brownie, because I went to the Super Bowl, you see.
Couldn't miss it on social media. Every 5 minutes.
I'm not sure if you're across that.
Most of those posts you were sideways as well. Oh, he's directly in front. Just a modest celebration. A community series celebration from Matt Owies.
That was disappointing by Matt.
Especially after you bumped him up that much, Brownie. It's another one to the Blues. 8-3-51 to Carlton. 2-3-15. 15 minutes played, second quarter.
So what the D's have been looking for now is some leadership and to get it back on their terms around the ball. And that's what I think the message would be. We've just seen Clary Oliver come off for a spell. He goes straight back into the middle. So in this centre bounce, their midfield will be Oliver, Petrarca, Viney and Gawn. So they're going back to their one wood. But they need to get some territory. They need to get it back on their terms. They need to get hard around the footy and win some contested footy. Because the minute the Blues are giving them a touch-up, Heath.
Yeah, Red Z lending stats. Pressure so far for Melbourne, 141 this quarter. Carlton dominating territory, 11-3 inside 50 so far this term.
McDonald score enough to feed the whole team. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack. And we're back in the middle. Big bounce. Oliver, can the Demons get going? Handball towards Gawn. There's a whole 180 and then turns around and dumps it inside forward 50. Ben Brown hasn't seen a lot of it. Kicked the first one of the night. Sard read it beautifully. Got players everywhere. Short ball finds Fisher. The Blues on the run. Could have given it to O'Brien. Didn't. Now Fisher settles on a left footer. Down towards Silvani. Elects to allow his player first at the ball, and that was a mistake in the end because Chompers Harms came through. Viney stripped of the footy. Chompers Harms went back and got it. He was tackled as well. Petrarca, the pressure from the Blues is good. High ball, Petrarca inside forward 50. Players everywhere at ground level. Fritsch can't get it. Coming out the back, Ben Brown back to Fritsch. Fritsch on the left foot, tries to step through. Did step through and kicked the goal. Really good from Fritsch. That's what we saw in the finals last year. Haven't seen a lot of him tonight, but he looked pretty happy with that one. And the Demons get their first goal since the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. And it's back to 30 points, 8-3-51. The Demons are 3-3-21.
Well, there's a little bit of that response we're talking about. It started in the midfield. It was Gawn down to Oliver, back to Gawn, took the territory. On that occasion, though, we saw on the Harvey Norman replay, we're talking about Mitch McGovern finding himself in that new role across centre-half back and the full-back zone. He was the spare man, elected to mark got the soft drop, and his man was the one he came off, which was smart enough to stay at ground level. That's where you'd love to see it. I'm sure as he grows in that role, you'll see him put a big clear fist through it, clear that immediate area in danger, and get his team and his side some time to get back in numbers.
Let's get down to the boundary. Nat Unides.
Well, Jack, Melbourne's runner might look pretty familiar to a lot of footy fans today. Former Tiger and Docker Reece Conker joined the D's in the off-season in player development. He is the only man out there with long sleeves on, though.
Thank you, Nat. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Jordan stands under a high ball in the middle. And pushing it back. Couldn't, and we'll go to Sparrow. Melbourne take the advantage. Petrarca at centre half forward has a player on inside. It slips through the fingers of Fritsch. And here comes Pickett. Tackling pressure elite. Petrarca pounces outside of the boot. He hits the post. Missed opportunity for the D's. Carlton 8-3-51. Melbourne 3-4-22.
McGovern does the kicking in, looking for Silvani. The ball out the back. It's going to be a free kick against Silvani. An easy one to spot to lever. A couple of times now Silvani has let his opponent go to the front of the pack in the marking contest, and he's paid the price twice. So lever. Goes to the high one. Ben Brown. He's got some space to run and jump at it. Can't get there. The ball got out the back. They've got a sweeper. Ed Curnow, the other brother. Short ball. That's a really good kick to find Cherrett. Cherrett centre half back. Got players darting everywhere. But he has to just slow it down, and he gets it to Fisher.
He was told to go and does. From right half back. Puts it out in front of Martin. The kick is spot on. Martin's got Mackay inside 50. All on his own. It just doesn't get there. Brayshaw got back and got a hand on it. Mackay's waiting a handball off the stoppage, and Carlton have got a player down. Looks to be Brownie's man, Owies.
Yeah, head clash, I think it was. We'll see here on the Harvey Norman replay. Comes in, looking for the cherry. Oh, yeah, head on head. Coming the other way was Baker.
Silvani to do the ruck work. He could win it out. Cripps snaps. It's there. He just threw it on the boot. The good players can manufacture good things. Cripps kicks his second of the quarter. And Carlton get the quick response. They're 9-3-57. Melbourne 3-4-22.
Well, if his last goal was vintage Cripps Brownie when he had that little bit of lateral movement and speed, this is almost his bread and butter. Strength, fending off a man who had him firmly by one arm, that being Oliver, which is no mean feat. Good enough to take the tackle, swing around, and kick it home.
Not only that, but Oliver had his arm before the ball even got in Cripps' other hand.
He looks like he is in menacing shape and menacing form. The 12 disposals, I think about 230-odd metres gained, Dave.
Yeah, 232 so far, Dave.
He's in good nick.
Wide up, Gaz, wide up.
So the Blues by 35 points against the Demons. 20 minutes gone in the second term. Umpire's going to pick out
against Melbourne. Okay, all right. I'm going to throw the ball up. All right.
Is that against the run for being on the ground?
So they're going to throw it up. Never understood that part of it.
Play on.
So a ball up. McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Cripps kick the last one. Gets the extraction. Out towards Kennedy. Got it over the top. Fisher trouble, but Stead went one way, then the other. Ball kick though. In the end, the ball hits the ground. His opportunity. Drop down there. Quick kick out of the pack. It's going to be another one to the Blues. This is brilliant by Carlton. Ed Curnow on the left. And Melbourne making some mistakes. Jake Lever dropped the mark that you never think he would put to the ground. And it's now a 41-point margin. 63 plays 22.
Just a nice crisp centre clearance exit. Zach Fisher there dancing around at half forward. The kick came in though. Well done to young Durden. He was the man who came off his direct opponent. Looked like Lever was going to take that one every day of the week. Caused a contest, didn't give away the free kick. And then the Blues front and centre, their pressure work's what's been impressed me most. It hasn't been the big boys getting to work, it's been the smalls at ground level.
Yeah, Red Z lending stats. Carlton's pressure so far this quarter, 210. AFL average is 179. Melbourne comparatively, 152 so far this quarter.
Triple M Red Z lending stats with Heath. I must admit,
There we go.
when I came to the footy tonight, I did not expect to see Carlton 41 points up on the reigning premiers. McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. As Daisy said, Cripps is in menacing form. A kick, probably not his best though, on the left foot. Harms gathers on the Medallion Club wing, drives towards Brown. He's eased off it by Oscar McDonald. Has time to work back against the boundary line. Kicks on the left foot. Martin flies. In the end, he spoiled Kennedy. Petrarca was there waiting. Short kick to Oliver. Drives towards goal. Fritsch. Red at best coming in and marks 10 metres out directly in front.
Right here, Nick.
Just a lack of communication on this outer wing from the Blues. The two of them going up, Martin and Kennedy, had their names sewn all over it, but lack of communication meant the two D's players stayed down. They then raffled it going inside forward 50. The Blues still managed to have a spare out the back there, that being Lewis Young, but kick good enough. And this man, can he do some damage in front of goals?
His first game of the season. Didn't play last week against North Melbourne. That's two. The Demons get their fourth. They're 4-4-28. Carlton 10-3-63. 6.5 minutes before halftime. Daisy Thomas has got all of our Triple M C-Bar super special comments.
Well, I'm sort of liking what I'm seeing from Oscar McDonald down back, Brownie, playing undersized on Ben Brown, but they're just shuffling around. Lewis Young's been down there, Mitch McGovern's been down there, Newman's down there as well. They're not the tallest back line, but they're getting it done through system. It just shows how heavily reliant they are on that midfield winning a lot of that ball, because the last couple of times it has come down, the D's have scored relatively easy from those inside forward 50s, but when the Blues have been on top through the centre, playing the game in their half, they haven't had to expose that lesser-like back line.
Carlton have waltzed out of their defensive line a few times tonight as well. So the Demons get one back. Fritsch has got two for McDonald's Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy gone high one. Almost touched the roof. It went that high. Didn't go any metre. It just went high. Gorn gets another opportunity. Trying to pick the footy up was Baker. He couldn't do that. O'Brien's been everywhere. The handball back. George Hewitt gives it back to O'Brien. Numbers for O'Brien.
O'Brien, 11 disposals so far.
Yeah, it's a good return. Triple M Red Z lending. Morn trying to lift the Demons. Went to half forward. Ben Brown won by 2, 3, 4, 5. Couldn't pay it. The umpire said play on. Didn't have a sense of humour about him. Ball got back. Lewis Young, standing start, bouncing ball. Paddy Cripps has to sit underneath it. Brayshaw come in with the knee, got it out towards Petrarca. Petrarca's handball and spin was brilliant. They got it out in the middle. Pickett with the left foot, goes wide. Sets a task for Fritsch. He's up to it, keeps it out in front of him. He's just a nice looking player who gets it inside forward 50. Spargo back to Pickett, not 15 play on. The umpire, he's just not laughing. And the Blues will win it back.
It was about 7. Cosy Pickett tried to say it was 15. Tumbling ball out of bounds on the outer side. Blues 10-3-63. Melbourne 4-4-28. 5.5 minutes before half-time. From McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Pitnet to do the ruck work. Gorn took the front spot. Fisher sharked that one. Now Hewitt, his first game as a Blue.
Stand! Play on!
Careful kick to Mackay on the wing. He kicks deep to a contest. Durden was lurking off the back of the pack and was almost through. It's knocked out of bounds instead. A small forward combo, I mean, interesting one for the Blues this year, Daisy. Post bets. Durden, Owies, even Kennedy, I guess you could class
Fisher as well.
Fisher.
Martin.
They have looked lively, but the best thing is the pressure they're putting on. They're getting some opportunities, but their pressure's been electric down there.
There's Oliver, read it best off the stoppage and kicks out of defence.
You've got a sweeper back or a quarterback in McDonald, so they're definitely setting up better, the Blues. Last year, a quick kick out of defence that might have gone from end to end, and that man tries to make a difference here, and he did. He fisted the ball down, played that quarterback role really well. Did McDonald inside forward 50, the Blues go again. Big leap by Cripps. Didn't make a very good fist of it. Looked a bit awkward and uncoordinated at the end and went to the ground, and it was pretty funny. And the ball goes out of bounds. You can see what he was trying to do, but it just didn't work out for him.
It was like the equestrian horse that didn't want to go over the jumps, and then the jumper goes over the rails into the water.
He's having a laugh about it on a Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
Not ideal.
As he ambles over towards the stoppage that's about to take place. Boundary throw-in, point of the square. Pitnet and Gawn. Gawn worked to the front, superior strength and mobility, got it wide. Spargo, his handball was errant. The Blues under pressure now. Can they pick it up? They do. The ball come out from Boyd. Left foot to Cripps. He just stood at that stoppage. He was tired. And he did the smart thing and then gave it out towards Sard. Cripps going to come off. We'll get down to that in a minute. Inside forward 50. Mackay can't mark it over the back. Durden's been everywhere. So too is Matt Owies. They're fast and they're small down there, and the ball goes out of bounds. We head down the boundary side. That you need is Paddy Cripps has just come off.
Yeah, it looks like he might have landed hard on that left foot. He's just having the doctor have a look at it at the moment. Obviously, elected to handball instead of kicking that free kick. So we'll keep an eye on him. We're keeping an eye on Ed Curnow, who had some work done on his calf.
Thank you, Nat. That's touched off the boot. Pulls up to the bench, right?
Big calves too, Ed Curnow. Big calves.
There's a lot of running with those calves as well. Absolutely motors around the park. A sub 6 minute 2K man.
He can't wear skinny leg jeans, Ed Curnow.
And we can wear flares, they just turn into skinny leg jeans, Brownie.
He has to wear the ones with a little bit more leg room, the straight cut they're called these days.
This is the good stuff you're going to get all year long on Triple M footy. Bonnie hasn't paid the mark. Late free kick. Meant that he got the footy back in the end regardless. Chips to half forward. Kick wasn't really to the advantage of Gawn. McDonald picks it up clean. Kick off the outside of the boot. Misses Fritsch. And there's that last line of defence player that Brownie was talking about. That time it was Lewis Young. Up and under ball out of defence. McDonald strapped the saddle on the Kennedy, and that'll be a free kick to the Blues, who take that advantage and push forward. O'Brien had his kick smothered. Gets another chance to go back and get it.
Have to win this footy, the Blues, and they do. They got it back to Sard. Sard's left foot towards half forward. Silvani can get it and go. Right foot ball inside forward 50. The Blues are humming at the moment. The ball goes down towards Owies. He's got some space and he's going to go back, and he's a long way out. He's a small man. He loves a goal.
Thank you.
And now he said to everybody, I'm going to have a ping. Yep. Mitch McGovern just lurking, wanting the handball. He's going to give it to Mitch McGovern. McGovern from 55. Not going to be a goal. Across the face. High ball. Leap. And a free kick picked out. That's going to go to the Demons. Really anticlimactic, that.
Stand.
Just trying to get Nat to have a look at the board that Carlton are holding up at the moment.
Stand.
Can't quite work out what that is, Nat. We'll get to you in a second.
It's like a smiley face.
It looks like an on-off button on a...
Well, it's either that or it's an emoji. Not sure what it is.
You know, the power button that sort of is the half smiley face, but only one of the vertical eyes.
James, go with him.
What would that mean, Daisy?
Well, maybe just lock it down. Turn it off.
Nat's good with emojis. Nat, what does this mean?
That's definitely not an emoji. That is an on-off button from a remote.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Switch on.
or switch off.
How's the tone? Nat just sort of slapped me down as well. Just said, you're an idiot.
That was fair enough.
No, she's probably right, to be fair. That's knocked out of play. On the full, though, before it went out of bounds.
What button on the remote could it represent?
Well, it's the on-off button.
Come on the line, Harry.
So that's what it represents.
I think Nat covered that one off.
Yeah, that was sort of the listening part of the game.
Trying to figure out from our good friends at Harvey Norman. Got a lot, big range of remotes.
Do they really?
Are
they the ones that come with the TV?
That's exactly right.
Can't wait to head to the remote section at Harvey Norman. You haven't been to Harvey Norman for a while, Brownie, have you, Sarah? Inside handball to Setterfield. Up to the wing, Melbourne have got all of their numbers back and they look switched on here.
Inside the last minute, Smith, centre half back, short ball, finds the running man Langdon. He's got a couple of players on. He's got Spargo, elects not to go there. That's a poor ball. Sets Brayshaw a task. Brayshaw hits the deck. Now the Blues with an opportunity. Can they get a late one? Martin fumbled it. Didn't clear it. Spargo went back in, got the handball to Langdon, another quick handball. Now the Demons go forward. Neil Bullen, he was pushed off the footy by Boyd. Gawn went in. Martin did really well. Martin picked it up, gave it back though, gave it off, made a mistake, comes back Langdon. Langdon lowers the eyes and misses.
How's the effort there from Martin, though? Made the mistake. He was the one. Diving effort. Harvey Norman replay, remotes and all. Got his hand in. Affected the shot on goal that would have been a walking goal to Langdon. Well done, Jack Martin. Great pressure.
That's those little things that Michael Voss will love.
I'll tell you what it may be, though. It could, seriously, man, we've spoken about the switch. It might be the switch he's on in terms of go round, have a look around the opposition if they're keeping you pretty straight down the line.
I like that. That makes sense.
Play on.
Smith whacks it towards the boundary line. Right against it. One of those players that we spoke about pre-game that trying to win a permanent spot in this team. His kick goes to the top of 50. Neil Bullen jams it on the boot quickly. Just misses.
I'm sure somebody out there knows who's watching 33353, Triple M open line.
We're taking calls at half time.
We might. Leroy's back there. He's ready to go. So 4 seconds to go before half-time, and it's been a very good half of football for the Blues and Michael Voss. They're going to go into half-time with a 33-point lead, 10-3-63. They've done a number on the Demons for 6:30, and they are very happy down at Princes Park at the moment. For McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack.
Triple M Rocks Footy. This is Triple M Melbourne. Weekdays from 6, the Marty Sheargold Show live.
Hands off Snakey.
Now at 4 p.m, Triple M's Rush Hour with JB and Billy.
Couldn't get that any other show, could you?
I don't reckon you could, no.
And Triple M plays rock's greatest hits all day. And now with the cricket over, we're ready for the footy. Streaming on the Listener app, your smart speaker, and 105.1.
That is good.
That's Triple M Melbourne.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Tradies, at National Tiles we know how extra valuable your time is in this current building boom, so we've streamlined how quickly we can serve you. Just go online and order from thousands of National Tiles, adhesives, grouts and tools for immediate delivery or pickup. No waiting, no delays. Yes, at National Tiles, our tradies are our VIPs, where we consistently strive to save you time and money every day of the year.
Hoops fans, your Saturday is sorted. Slam Dunk Saturday on ESPN with KO. Start the day with the NBA, bouncing right through into the NBL on Saturday afternoon into the night. The biggest games, the biggest ballers on Slam Dunk Saturday. Watch every game live on ESPN with KO.
Machinery, your one-stop machinery shop.
When it comes to workshop machinery and machine tool accessories, Hare & Forbes Machinery House are your one-stop machinery shop. From tooling to woodworking, spare parts and servicing, when you become a Machinery House mate, we'll look after you like a mate, as we have done since 1930. See the full range at machineryhouse.com.au.
Hare & Forbes Machinery House, your one-stop machinery shop.
4 Abbots Road, Dandenong South.
We've been proudly serving Australia for 50 years, and to celebrate, Liquorland has offers like an extra $2 off any 4, 6 or 8 pack of beers when you scan your Flybuys card. So head into your local Liquorland today. Terms and conditions apply.
Finding the right person for the job can be tricky at the best of times. That's why a Seek job ad is loaded with features. It lets you see a candidate's verified credentials, like their driver's license, so you can find the right person for the job. Think of an extra pair of hands. The best job ads find the best people. Visit seek.com.au/best job ad.
Save at Kmart on all your summer essentials with our huge summer clearance event. We're bringing even lower prices to a huge range of products from across the store, from home to clothing to toys. Head in store or shop online today. Kmart, low prices for life.
Does your job suck? Time to switch. That group is looking for workers now. Truck drivers and general labourers for vacuum excavation trucks and tippers, and utility locators and surveyors, plus Flowcon drivers and operators. That group is the leader in underground construction, hydro excavation, specialised technologies and locator training. Don't miss out on this exciting opportunity. Apply now at thatgroup.com.au or call 1300 822 834.
Melbourne's Best Buys.
No one likes going back to school, but everyone loves Primo Stackers. Salami, cheese and crackers in a handy snack pack. Primo Stackers, packed full of fun.
Best Buys.
For Ream Hot
Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Half-time at Marvel Stadium, and the Blues would love this scoreline at the moment. 10-3-63, leading Melbourne 4-6-30. 2 goals to Patrick Cripps, he's been outstanding. 2 goals to Corey Durden. Singles after that to Kennedy, Mackay, Fisher, Curnow and Owies. And for the Demons, 2 to Bailey Fritsch. And singles to Ben Brown and Tom McDonald. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Daisy, this is a result that I don't think we were expecting at half-time in the first game of the season.
And even just the way that was explained then, the Blues have kicked 10 goals, only one of those coming to Mackay. Obviously, Charlie Curnow isn't out there tonight too, so their ability to manufacture scores from their pressure, from their smalls, getting different looks. Kennedy's been unbelievable, not just in the forward line, but across the midfield, across half-back as well. He's been in everything. It's been a really impressive first half from the Blues. They've been able to turn Melbourne around, which has been hard to do over the past season, especially with that 3-pronged defence. Obviously, we're not getting too carried away because they don't have May out there, who is an integral part of that, but it has been Lever, it has been Tomlinson, so they do have some experience down there, but they just haven't looked as assured as they did last season. And for the Blues, they'd be mighty happy. It got done in the midfield in that second term, especially when they got on top. And they just started to run away with it out the front of the centre clearance, getting themselves some really good looks and making the most of it on the scoreboard.
They went on a run from the 11-minute mark of the first quarter to the 15-minute mark of the second quarter, where they kicked 7 unanswered goals. Now, again, without getting too carried away, but no one did that to Melbourne at all last year. No one put 7 in a row on the Demons.
Well, the team that got that done to the most last season was the Blues. And we spoke about it in the pre-game. It was how they were going to respond to when Melbourne got that ascendancy and got a run on, because they weren't able to stop that last year. The dam wall would break, and then it was game over. They got themselves in positions, but at some point, they were the first to crack. And Melbourne, that first 5, 6, 7 minutes of this game, they were unbelievable. But to the Blues' credit, they got hard, they got tough, they got back in the game. And from that point on, it's almost been one-way traffic. So a little question has been asked now of the champs, and that's what happens when you are the reigning champs. And as we've said a lot, we're not getting too carried away. It is only the AAMI Community Series. But there still is a bit of pride, and you still want to tick a few boxes and a few KPIs. And I dare say that getting a touch-up around the ball like that and not having any time in forward half would be a big concern for that Melbourne coach's box.
Triple M Reds Eds with Heath. Just give us some of the major ball winners for both teams so far.
Yeah, major ball winners so far. Matt Kennedy leading all comers with for Carlton. 18 disposals he's had so far. 8 of those contested. 1 goal, 2 as well. George Hewitt in his first game for Carlton, 17 disposals, 6 clearances so far. And Paddy Cripps, number 1 ranked player on the ground so far. 15 disposals, 5 clearances, 7 tackles, 2 goals. Newman 15, O'Brien 15 as well for the Blues. And for the D's, usual comers, Petrarca 16, Oliver 16, and Max Gawn following them at 13 disposals.
While you're on a roll, give us Mitch McGovern's first half.
Yeah, Mitch McGovern, he is on a roll. 12 disposals, 4 intercept marks as well. That's the most of any player on the field so far.
Which is fantastic to see, obviously, getting tried in that new role across the centre half-back. If you're listening to the broadcast, the first couple of minutes here, he had a bit of a nightmare. He played on from fullback with the very first kicking of the game, laser beamed it to Melbourne, went straight back over his head. Then the very next centre bounce was 2 yards off Tom McDonald. The ball got hack kicked out to his direct opponent. Ball went straight over his head. So for him to bounce back, but he's found himself in some really good positions. But to the Blues' credit, it makes it a hell of a lot easier, and I did spend some time in that back half. When your midfield's on top and your forwards, the little men, Owies, Fisher, Durden, are getting to work, the ball's coming haphazard and a bit hacked in, and makes your job and your positioning a hell of a lot easier. But after those first 5 minutes, he's looked relatively comfortable back there.
Jacob Wiedering not playing tonight, but we'll be right to go for round 1. Charlie Curnow also not playing tonight. One of the other big features of the first half so far, Daisy, is the 50-metre penalties for abuse. Now, it sort of came to me midway through the second quarter when there was the third one, I reckon, of the first half. I thought, how many would Daisy have given away when you were playing back in the day? This rule wouldn't have been kind to you, I don't think.
No, umpires and I didn't get along that well. I once got a $7,500 fine and had to go to the tribunal for actual umpire abuse. I was just purely questioning whether or not he was allowed to inform the GWS side if they'd only had the 5 players, not the 6, because of the 666 rule. Apparently the AFL rules stipulate that he actually was allowed to do that and was just doing his job and didn't deserve the 5-minute barrage that I gave him. So,
and that cost you $7.5, did it?
Cost me $7.5. The club weren't kind enough to pay any of it. fair enough too, because they arguably paid me too much to do bugger all for long enough. So, look,
I'd say you came out in front.
It is the frustration, though, and it is when you get to these sort of games, and especially for Melbourne, because it has been mostly one-way traffic on the free kick count and the 50-metre count. It's the frustration that it's not quite going as you would hope. And you want one of them was Tomlinson down in the forward 50. He couldn't believe it because he'd done a pretty good job to manoeuvre Mackay, good positioning. The umpire pays an unlucky one. Just that little bit of discipline, and I'm sure that'll be spoken about. I'd be very, very... almost put my house on it that there won't be another one from a Melbourne player in this second half, because those are the things that coaches don't like one bit.
Just lastly on the Blues, what looks different? We're going to look at Carlton all night and even in the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season and kind of see what Michael Voss's stamp on this team is. What have you seen so far?
Well, already you can just see that they're going strong through the midfield, and that's where they've been on top. It's been Cripps, Chera, Hewitt, Kennedy mainly through that midfield there. So that's been one part of their game where they've just gone, no, we're sticking to our one woods. We're putting the big boys in there. We're not worrying about too much speed or too much change through there. We're going to win it there, get the ball inside 50. And if the big boys don't mark it, we're going to let the little ones go to work and play in our half of the ground. The other thing is their ability to slow Melbourne down on transition. We saw a couple of times where Melbourne were out on a fast break and got stuck on one side of the ground. That's something that teams haven't been able to do to Melbourne for a long time. And Melbourne, that's sort of been their one wood. The other thing is the intercept marks of Melbourne. I think Gawn's only had 3 maybe. Yep. I'm not sure how many others have taken one behind the football. Their ability to compete and not get beaten, it's been a pack of players which brings those smalls to ground.
Yeah, the intercept marks for Melbourne so far. Max Gawn does have the 3, but the only other 2 players that have taken one, Christian Petrarca's taken one, Angus Brayshaw's taken one, Lever yet to take an intercept mark so far.
There you go. Heath backs up your statement, Days. That's good.
It's always nice when we're here first night in and what I'm saying is reflective on the stat sheet and I haven't even taken a peep.
You're working together beautifully, you two. Maybe not as beautifully as you and the umpires used to work together. 7,500. Let's just take a little trip down memory lane if we can.
Already rock bottom on the ladder, Carlton was delivered yet another whack today. Dale Thomas has been ordered to face the tribunal tomorrow night. Ayrton Woolley joins us live now from Princes Park. Ayrton, what's Daisy done?
Well, Tony, it's certainly an unusual case. It was in the third quarter of that loss to GWS that Thomas is alleged to have called a boundary umpire a cheat, with a bit of colourful language thrown in for good measure.
Daisy, you can't call him a cheat.
Yeah, well, I'm glad they went with that sort of word starting with that letter rather than the ones that may have followed. Look, it wasn't my proudest moment, however. You can never question the passion that I brought, and at that point, I got told in the third quarter, it was actually in the second quarter, we're already 11 goals down, and later on in that game where I got running with our runner at the time who told me to stop being the +1, and I had to then inform him in some similar colourful language that GWS had taken the P15S and actually rested a player. So we actually had one extra on the ground regardless. So it wasn't our best night, it wasn't my best night, but $7,500 and we got a story to tell at least.
Yeah, we do. At half-time, it's Carlton 10-3-63, leading Melbourne 4-6-30 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M Rocks Footy.
The 80s gave us many things. The waterbed, double denim, and the greatest soundtrack of our generation. Now, every Friday, we celebrate Triple M's Flock of 80s Friday. It's all 80s, all day. All the hottest stuff to come out of the 80s since the Velcro wallet. We'll put our money on it. Oh, yeah! Triple M's Flock of 80s Friday. All 80s, all day tomorrow on Triple M.
Save at Kmart on all your summer essentials with our huge summer clearance event. We're bringing even lower prices to a huge range of products from across the store, from home to clothing to toys. Head in store or shop online today. Kmart, low prices for life.
At Total Tools, we won't be beaten on Makita Power Tools. Score even more at our massive Makita Mac Cash event exclusively at Total Tools this Thursday. Spend $4.99, get $100. Spend $9.99, get $200. Spend $4,999, get up to $1,000 Mac Cash to spend on any Makita product. Beat that! Our low prices will not be beaten. But hurry, must end this Saturday. Total Tools, low prices on every tool for every trade. Guaranteed.
The countdown's over.
For the first time ever.
And there's the first try.
Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands compete in the Super Rugby Pacific competition.
Looking real good.
The only place to watch every match.
Unbelievable.
Ad-free, live and on demand.
Super Rugby Pacific, now streaming on the home of rugby, Stan Sport.
The Lowdown around town.
50,000 in gold, 5 winners. Get your Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery tickets before midnight Friday. Visit rmhhomelottery.com.au.
The Lowdown.
Me, get delivery. Can you see it, baker boy? Gotta eat, make it faster. Get the flavor straight to your pad. Got the chili crab in the chili bag.
Burger in the Lola. Damn, no pickles there. Mix it like on the steam. Fries and ice cream.
MENULOG.
Go big at Vodafone and get 40 gigabytes of data for just $40 a month. That's plenty of data to stream, share, and do more of what you love over the summer. And don't forget, you can pair this amazing plan with one of our great value 5G phones. There's never been a better time to upgrade. Why wait? Get into store or go online and connect to Vodafone today. Offer available until withdrawn on our light price plan. Our 5G network is rolling out in selected areas and major cities. Check website for coverage. T&Cs apply.
There's so much happening in the city right now. It's enough to give you FOMO. Cool off with a paddle in the pink pool as the NGV's Ponder installation. Bring a picnic rug for free live music and art in the park at M Pavilion. See the future of fashion on the runways at the Melbourne Fashion Festival. And return to the wizarding world of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, live at the Princess Theatre. Get to the city or get FOMO. Search FOMO Melbourne to find out what's on.
Triple M rocks footy. This quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream.
Not far away for a start for the second half. Community Series, the Blues up against the Demons. The Blues led by 16 points at quarter time. They now lead by 33 points at a half time. The Blues a 10-3-63. The Demons 4-6-30 for McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. We've got Daisy on the C-Bus Super Special comments and on the Triple M Red Z lending stats. We've got Ethan. What were the major stats in that first half that allowed the Blues to have this surprising 33-point lead?
Well, it was all their work around the ball for Carlton. They had 50 more disposals and 10 more tackles. Don't normally see that. Also dominated the clearances, 25-15, 4 goals from stoppage to 1. And as Daisy was saying during the break, just making it really hard to transition. Melbourne 19 rebound 50s turned into just 2 inside 50s, 11%. That's half the AFL average. Melbourne yet to score from their defensive half of the ground.
I spoke about before the game, Daisy, Carlton players have played between 50 and 100 games, and they need to step up, and they only played a half a footy. They lead by 33 points, but you look down and Lockie O'Brien has done a really good job. Matthew Kennedy has done a really good. Mitch McGovern has been okay as well. You got young players like Jack Martin in that bracket, probably hasn't played as well tonight, but I thought Nick Newman has done a really good job. George Hewitt's in there as well. So a lot of these players that are 50 to 100 games are going to be the one that take Carlton forward, and it's been a step forward in the first half tonight.
The improvement that's been thrown around that have just been words so far are now tangible. You can see that from that group of players and the collective team that is the Blues. They've been pretty impressive so far in that first half. Obviously, there's another half to play out, and they're going to get some challenges. No doubt Melbourne will throw some things at them. But that group of players in particular, that's where we spoke about. That's where your growth comes from. If you get Sam Walsh to improve and you get Patrick Cripps to improve, amazing. But their improvement is going to be marginal. That group of players has the greatest growth, and they're the ones that take you up. And as we spoke about with Melbourne, it's the blokes that are missing out, those bottom 3 players who are pushing the next 3 up. That's where their growth comes from as well. So for the Blues, a very, very big tick in that first half.
Tactically for the Blues, and it's all about the Blues. I mean, the Demons have won the premiership last year, but 33 points behind Carlton at the moment. Nobody expected that, so we're going to talk about Carlton. Tactically, what have they done different? What have you noticed that's different between last year and Michael Voss taking over in a half a footy?
Well, just the ability to put those big bodies in the midfield and stick with it. Last year, you could think of all sorts of different combinations they had running through there. Ed Curnow at times, Zach Fisher at times. They've just gone with their big balls. They'll hit it to an area and they will back themselves in to either win or halve it. It is heads in the trough sort of stuff. Get in there, get what you're paid to do what you're paid to do, win the ball and get it going our way. And if it doesn't, the pleasing thing has been those midfielders have been the spread players upon release. So if it has gone in and the back line's been under the pump and they've had to jack it wide, you name numerous occasions where Cripps has been the one breaking, Kennedy's been the one breaking and working hard to get back and help. but then also provide an option. I don't think we saw a lot of that last season.
That's Daisy on the Triple MC bus. Just for comments down at the boundary is Nat Yanides.
Yeah, Brownie, slight concern for Patrick Cripps in that second quarter. We saw him land really heavily on his foot and he sat out the last 5 minutes, but he has run out there with the group, so expecting him to start in this second half. Also keeping an eye out for Ed Curnow. Didn't see him run out just now, but that could have more to do with the fact that I have terrible eyesight, so I will keep an eye on that for you and I'll let you know where he is.
But Nat, you are very close to Mark Choco Williams, who's on the boundary. Is he loud? Is he boisterous? How's his roll down there?
I was just saying that it's so strange having fans back at the footy, because all last season you could hear everything that was happening on the bench. You could hear the messages from the coaches. I had very accurate information. Now I'm trying to learn how to lip read, so it's not as easy.
Thank you, Nat. Carlton, 10-3-63. Leading Melbourne 4-6-30. Leighton Oliver just sort of bopping away to a bit of the weekend out there, Dace.
Yeah, not too concerned does he seem, and as we've spoken about a lot, nor should he be. It is the AAMI Community Series. No doubt they would have been given some clear directives. It'll be interesting to see if Ed Curnow does come back up, though, as we see just down to the left there, the Carlton Medicos having a decent discussion. Doctors and physios, all four of them in a huddle down there.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Game one of the Community Series. You'll hear every single game right across the weekend on Triple M footy. Free kick and advantage taken by Carlton out of the middle. Hewitt, who's made a good start in his new colours. He's kicked high and long, chopped off by Lever. The Demons just weren't able to get anything on their terms after that 7-minute mark of the first quarter. And we're looking to change things up in the second half of the game. Hunt on the outer wing. Little kick. Has Langdon.
Play on, not 15.
And the Pickett, you heard the umpires there, not 15 metres. And Langdon runs around his full measure. Hoists it deep. Brown got to the front spot, couldn't hang on. Had a good look at it too. There he is tackling Setterfield. Forcing a ball up.
Looks like the D's have already changed something, going into more of a kick mark style down the wing there rather than trying to force it long at any opportunity. Keep an eye on that one, Ethan, on the Red Z, please.
Fire elevates the footy into the Marvel Stadium there. Ball goes out towards Owies, picked up. He was good in the first half. Did really well on that occasion. Got it out to Kennedy. Kennedy the 1-2. Got it back. He's going to be run down though. Eventually got his handball out. O'Brien needs to be good. He is, but he's tackled, pulled off the footy. Well done. Melbourne's pressure just up a notch at the moment inside forward 50 by Hunt, and a fist away. Out of bounds. Good play by McDonald down there. The boundary throw inside forward 50 for the Demons early stages of the third term.
Melbourne,
Tomorrow night, Western Bulldogs and Brisbane back here at Marvel Stadium. On Saturday, Hawthorn versus Richmond. Adelaide and Port Adelaide, and Essendon versus St Kilda. Games to come on Sunday as well. Pickett, nice squaring kick, which was taken out. And we'll get the free kick. Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
Just waiting to see there. He's been one of Melbourne's best contributors so far on the night. Been lively from small opportunities, which we know how good he is with limited opportunities. That final series heaper. We get a good look at it here. Newman, no eyes on the ball. Came across, chopped his arm and hit him in the head. Umpire could have ruffled which decision he wanted to pay.
Almost directly in front. The best part of 40 metres out to give Melbourne the first goal of the third quarter. Never looked like missing. They needed that one just to get things going. They're 5-6-36. The Blues 10-3-63. Nearly 3 minutes gone for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy.
One battle that we haven't spoken a lot about tonight is the big boys in the ruck, and just the job that Pitnat has done up against Gawn and Jackson. We know that those two blokes are probably the premier 1-2 combo in the competition, but Pitnat has tried his heart out. Not sure how the hit-outs are going, Heath. Does that reflect that?
Yeah, hit-outs so far, 23-12 Melbourne's way, but only the 4 hit-outs to advantage so far for the D's.
And that's well done to the Blues midfield there, obviously stymieing the ability of those hit-outs to go to advantage and where those Melbourne midfielders are going to run.
So the Demons get the first one of the second half. Umpire stands in the middle. Bounces brilliant, straight up and down, just like we like it. Max Gawn fisted it down. Cripps was good. Sweeping handball by Pitnet, got it out to Kennedy, to the man of the moment. Back to Cripps, and he runs and he carries to 50. Max got him. He ran 50 metres himself, and then went right foot, bang! Oh, Paddy Cripps is back. That was brilliant. Max Gawn did all he could, but he couldn't bring him down. And he nailed it. Answer for Carlton, 69 plays 36. Paddy Cripps has 3.
He has 3, and 3 in the fashion that were when he was the best player in the competition at the peak of his powers. This is how he was kicking them, backing himself in with strength and speed, but also his ability to finish. Well done to Big Max there, following up from the centre bounce. He certainly got he actually took some ground off Cripper here, as we see on the Harvey Norman replay. Cripper had a bit of a look in the rear view mirror. Big Max put the head down, but couldn't quite stick the tackle. But Paddy Cripps absolutely back to his best and loving it.
It's the leanest he's looked too, isn't it, Dace?
Yeah, it certainly is. He's trimmed down. He looks sharp as well across the ground.
The umpire allowed him to run 25 metres.
That's all right. Sends it theatre.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy.
They're growing on me, the umpires.
7,500 reasons why they should.
That's 50.
That is 50.
And he's listening.
What was Clayton Oliver thinking?
He thought it was his free kick.
He thought it was a Melbourne free kick, so he chipped it back to Viney. Problem was it was the 7 from the other team's free kick.
And, well, if you listened at half-time, I just lost the house there because I said there wouldn't be another 50-metre penalty given away. We did say for abuse, but there's 5-zip conceded.
So Matt Kennedy for his second from the top of the goal square. Melbourne started with the first goal of the quarter, and Carlton have kicked the next 2. Just get it back out to a nice, comfortable margin. Clayton Oliver looks a bit flat right now. 12-3-75, Melbourne 5-6-36.
Red Z leading stats. Matt Kennedy, number 1 ranked player on the ground so far. 24 disposals, 6 of them already in this quarter in the first 5 minutes. 9 of those contested, 7 score involvements, as well as the 2 goals too, having a big impact so far, Days.
He certainly is. He's been fantastic. And the good news is that he's been doing it across the ball, but also getting behind the ball as well. And another one who looks like he's stripped fitter. Always been a bigger, thicker set lad, but he's one that's covering the ground well, making the most of his opportunities.
Nat Yannides down on the boundary.
Matt Cottrell's just run onto the field for Carlton, which means that the Blues have activated all 8 of their interchange players so far tonight.
Just take us through the bench and the setup as it is tonight again.
Yeah, so each team has 8 interchange players. You can use a minimum of 4, but of course you can use all of them, and Carlton have done just that to get as many minutes into as many legs as possible.
They're being good and they go forward again in the short ball, and it's a good ball too. And the Blues take the mark. Give me a long ball from 55. Parks. He's going to go with a long ball. Parks. He gets high. He gets up. He gets under. It took me a long time to figure out who he was. But I tell you what, I won't forget, because he can kick it. What about the Blues? They are 45 points in front of the reigning premiers at the moment. 81 plays 36. And they're giving them a smashing.
They certainly are, and they're loving every minute of it too. We have a look here on the Harvey Norman replay. Big Parks has banged it home from 52. I mean, scenes you sort of see more like in a round 1. Every man on the ground got to him and almost piled on as if he kicked the match winner. So maybe the lid needs to be kept on it just a little bit here, but good to see the enthusiasm because it has been a long pre-season. It's, well done to the young fella. It was tough to get a read on who it was who took the mark.
He just came on the ground.
He did just, no, but he did, and he's running a weird sort of haircut too.
Yeah, what?
Debuted in round 3 last year. Played 6 games. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Blues have kicked 3 goals to 1 in this quarter. Oliver with a clearance win for Melbourne. Drives deep for Jackson. Through his hands.
Carlton.
And that will go.
Carlton and O'Brien. 50 again. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Will he go again? Will he try and...
That's 6 50-metre penalties that Melbourne have given away in 2 and a bit quarters.
Oh no, he's kicked it back to him.
Langdon's going to get it back after all of that.
Oh boy.
It's definitely pre-season footy.
Langman's got a short opportunity. He goes wide. He takes that and the mark. Taken by Petrarca at half-back. Waste no time towards half-forward. Pack of players there. McDonald brings it to the ground. Ball pops out, and the Blues got the numbers everywhere at the moment. He's the big bison in the middle of the ground. That's Kennedy. He's been everywhere. Best man on the ground. Him and Cripps. Cottrell. That great goal, the winner that day. Haven't seen a lot of him since. Smith at half-back. Picked the footy up. The ball goes out of bounds. A big tackle laid down there by Williamson. I like the effect that Williamson's had since he's come on. You've got Cottrell has had a touch and Park. So the three players they've brought on in this second half have all had an impact.
81 to 36. Get those clearances number in a moment, Heath, for Red's Ed. One-way contest, this one. Sparrow dropped it on the wing. Oliver goes without it. Here's Cripps. Found his way through traffic. And Newman defers by hand to Williams, who runs and carries from the wing. That's out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, clearances so far, Red's Ed lending stats 30 to 18. Carlton's way 6-2 in this quarter.
Just one I've noticed, Parks played the 6 games last year, all across half-back. Williamson has played every game of his career off half-back. Both of those boys now playing in the forward line for the Blues.
I guess they're almost sorted across half-back, aren't they, Daisy?
Could be something to do with it, most definitely.
That's holding the ball. McGovern had a shaky first 5 minutes. Since then, has looked at home behind the ball. Nice tackle on Neil Bullock.
Move it on. Play on.
He's called a play on. He's got Fisher, who's just into the game off the bench. Can go back inside to McGovern and does. From right half forward. Up and under kick. Gone. Back with a pack and takes a nice mark.
Does that quite often, Max. Gets into a good position. Courage to do it every time. He'd probably do it 10 to 12 times a game. You don't know what's coming from behind you. They release the footy out, but the Blues have got the numbers again. Fisher just puts out the arm. One arm style like the Statue of Liberty, and it's stuck. And he run an arc looking for Kennedy. The man has got a hairline like a bison. And the ball goes out of bounds. With a boundary throw in. 81 plays 36. 11 minutes gone in the third term. The Blues in control. The Demons started well. Kicked 2 of the first 3 goals and doing it quite comfortably. But then since then it's been all Carlton. And the ball's out of bounds again. Half forward for the Blues.
Let's get down to Nat Unides.
Harry Mackay's just emerged from the rooms in his casual club attire. He's done for the day, but it doesn't look like he has an injury. At this stage, it looks like he's just being managed. Still waiting to see Ed Curnow. He hasn't come back onto the field just yet. And at the moment, Corey Durden is down in the rooms being assessed on what could potentially be a calf injury.
Well, that's not good for Durden, who's had a nice little impact in this game. Oliver had one arm pinned. His kick was smothered by Fisher. It's out of bounds.
Luke, Tom.
Would Mackay have been potentially on managed minutes?
You'd imagine
Daisy?
so. Had a slight interruption with that toe injury he's carried for a couple of years now, so imagine the half would have been the plan all along. Doesn't look like at any stage he was moving or hurt himself, so you'd imagine that was the plan going in.
Bowie from half-back. Hacks it towards the wing. They've been set up so well for that situation, Carlton, for that loose ball coming in. Williamson by hand, dumped as soon as he kicked was Boyd. Melbourne get it back with Oliver at half-back.
Well, I like the fact that he got up really quick. He didn't lay on the ground and he's up defending again. He's on Pickett. McGovern, intercept mark number what?
Number 5, Mitch McGovern.
That's a good return in 2.5 quarters of footy. So he's done his job at home. Still a quarter and a half to go. He can have a big night, Mitch McGovern. 50-metre penalty. How many's that?
That's our 7-0 Carlton's way 50-metre penalties tonight.
Triple M, Red Z lending stats. Ethan Meldrum all night, all day.
Right here. Stand me, mate.
So,
Stand
McDonald is going to give it off to Boyd. Boyd, top of the square. Fisher can't mark it. Off Hounds ground level, Smith releases the ball for the Demons, but only as far as Young out there. Lewis Young takes it on his chest, chips a little ball in, and mark drop should have been taken. I don't want to see the replay of that one, and the Demons run out.
Brown marks on the wing. How have you seen Lewis Young so far, Daisy's probably recruited for depth more than anything else.
Yeah, well, he's been called upon a fair bit tonight, but I think he's worked well down there alongside Oscar McDonald and also Mitch McGovern. They've almost been the better triangle defence, if you will, rather than the Melbourne three that we speak of so highly. He's had the 10 disposals and 5 intercept possessions.
And Sparrow on the run, kicks the goal. Demons second of the quarter. Takes them to 6:42. Carlton 13-3-81. Only 14 minutes gone in this third quarter.
The depth that you spoke about there, so yes, he may have been recruited for depth, but that's the beauty of it. We spoke of Chera as well coming across and everyone saying, is it worth giving up pick 6-4? What are you going to do? With Walsh out at the minute, it looks like it's a genius move, and at the minute tonight, you don't have Wiedering out there and the back line has been rather steady. Whereas last year, it was almost Civ-like with so many holes through it.
It was.
Here we go, boys. You get cribbed. Clear the centre circle. Straight back. Umpires marked up exclusively of Triple M. He's doing some of their finest work in the middle. Umpire number 14. Here we go. Stands ready. It's a good bounce too for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Petrarca. So the Demons, they need to get back-to-back goals. I'm not going to get it here because that's holding the ball against Petrarca.
Back here, Carlton. Straight to him.
So the ball will go back to Chera.
Christian stands.
Chera's numbers.
Chera, 15 disposals so far, 3 clearances.
Gives it off to Saad, who kicks that high up and under ball that he so often does. Opportunity in the goal square. The Blues, can they sock one off the ground? The ball's just bobbling around. Free kick. It's going to go to the Demons. High contact. Adam Tomlinson, heartbreaking last year. Knee injury, missed out in the grand final team. The former Giant.
He's got himself back. He's fit. He's firing. He wants a spot in this team, which he did have a permanent spot in that back six before he was injured. Petrarca from the wing. Kicks it into the middle of Marvel Stadium. Arms over, runs it as things start to get a little slippery out there. Jackson's there with him. And Spargo runs hard to receive it half forward. It's too far out to score. Kicks inside with the outside of the boot, if that makes sense. Brown, clever tap on for Neil Bullen. Picks it up and snaps quickly towards goal. Jackson. In fact, cornered is my apologies. Back
inside the square right there.
With the flight. Marks on the goal line.
Adam. Ross. Okay, go, mate.
Well, this should be a straightforward one for the skipper. And it's going to give them 2 in a row, Melbourne, for the first time in this game.
All clear. Which one in the goal square now? Nothing else.
Max puts that up into the upper deck. 13-3-81, plays 7-6-48, 16 and a half minutes gone.
And Max Gawn turned around when he kicked that goal then. I'm a long way away from here, but it looked like there was no one coming to him, and he asked the question, where is everybody? Where's the spirit?
Well, I think that's a fair enough question too. We saw at the other end Young Parks get a goal and the entire team came to him, whereas Max there has taken a really nice mark, getting his team back into it. He is resting forward at the minute, but just generating something, and at times it is hard to do. Sometimes you do have to manufacture it if it isn't happening organically. But to your point, he's like, is there any chance of someone just laying a little bit of skin on me? Maybe they're being extra COVID safe and just don't want to get with him in the 1.5, but we're almost past that now, surely.
Stacey rolling out his best. Triple M, Harvey Norman replay screen. What are you seeing?
Just a real strange setup with Clayton Oliver.
And the ice towel on the head.
McDonald's Ream Hot Water.
Shorts on.
Triple M rocks footy. Demons got back to back. Chera with a worm burner. Ground breaker down towards half forward. You can get down the end of that one, and the ball bounces away and goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in.
The real relaxed setup on the bench, just taking the shorts off and off the towel on the head.
Here, guys.
A bit of words between Jack Martin and the running man, Ed Langdon, having a bit of a laugh about it. So boundary thrown on the outer side. City side, point of the square for the Blues. Pitney. Back towards Chera. Standing start inside forward 50, but Jake Lever read it well. As he always does, dropped the mark in the second term. He probably should have gobbled up and cost him a goal to Ed Curnow. Since then, he's been pretty good.
Oh, that's almost a mark. In fact, it is a mark. Nice grab from Max Gawn. Pushed out. He had to throw the left hand back and it stuck. Melbourne having a much better 5 or 6 minutes here. Sparrow held up, out of side wing. In the end, he'll have to kick to a pack. It's not a great kick coming in either. Under the head of Petrarca. Everyone else gave up on it. Petrarca didn't. He spins, he dodges, he weaves, then kicks to the discipline area. Fritsch flies, harms at ground level, dribbles it through. 3 on the bounce now for the D's. All of a sudden the scoreboard looks a little better. 13-381 to 8-6-54.
Well, 3 on the bounce, and now I guess this is the question that we've spoken about a lot with Carlton. Can they do something to stop it? They've had their fair share of play, but it's been the ease of which then the D's have scored their goals. Petrarca, as you called there, the only one that played that ball out on the outer side, could have easily been knocked out of bounds at the 50-metre arc and a throw in, but instead of that he played the ball out, got it to the top of the square where the numbers were. 3 Blues went up, 3 D stayed down, and Harms kicked the easiest of goals.
Yeah, Max Gawn so far as well involved there. That was his 6th contested mark of the game, 18 disposals, 18 hitouts, and a goal. Number 1 ranked player for the D's so far tonight.
Nat Yannides on the boundary.
Confirmation from the Blues that Corey Durden won't take any further part in this game. He's out with a calf injury. Very disappointing for the young man. We won't see any more of Mackay, Jack Silvani or Ed Curnow. They have all been rested for the second half.
Numbers for young Durden in that first half. He was very good.
Corey Durden, 5 disposals, 2 goals.
He looked sharp. His pressure was good. The Blues for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. George Hewitt, the former Swan. High ball inside forward 50. They don't have Mackay down there, as we've just heard Nat say. So the forward line not functioning as well as what it was. The Demons have got the last 3. The Blues run to the pump. Handball back to Tomlinson, smothered off the boot. It was a good effort by Owies. The ball at half back. Chera being good. Fended off. Got it out to Fisher. Another one back to Hewitt. And another one. Here they go, Williamson. He's just ragged on across the boundary line. That's holding the ball. Or is it a free kick too high? Can't believe it. He took on 18 of them
and got sat down properly.
And the umpire just said one was 2. Actually, a fingernail got him. Oh, actually, I'm to the Harvey Norman replay. It was pretty high.
It was high. Just gone. Handball smothered. Blues are trying to flick it around by hand. It gets back to Williams. 55 metres around. Just turns and kicks on his left foot. Makes it someone else's problem. Oh, he's and his handball smothered. Oh, in the right forward pocket for the Blues. Fisher dumped. Looks a little bit more like it from Melbourne this quarter.
Yeah, no doubt they've certainly started to lift that pressure and intensity in and around the footy. Big tackles, big plays.
Petrarca off the clearance, kicks a spiral from half back all the way to the wing. Newman had to wait awkwardly under it, just decided to smack it away instead. Boyd at ground level. McDonald sits on him and waits and hovers. Ball up. And Jordan Boyd, Spotswood boy, taken in the mid-season draft last year. Yet to make his debut at the senior level. And Petrarca wrapped up. The cry of ball from the crowd. We've missed that in the last couple of years. Round 1 on our doorstep. Big crowds expected right across the country all weekend for round 1. Can't wait for it. Kennedy, his kick only as far as Brayshaw at half back. It steps out of trouble and gives a handball to Bowie.
His footwork was good. Short ball finds Oliver. And Brayshaw ran on. Got himself a 15-metre long ball. Inside forward 50. Fisted away. Well done. He's been very good down there, Oscar McDonald. And he fisted out of bounds. There's the famous 39. The Daisy made famous. There were some other famous number 39s for the Blues.
The big War
Who was on the locker? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's all boundary throw in. The Demons have the last 3. They're on 50. They'd love a 4 in a row just to start the doubt in the Blues' minds. Sard, underground handball, and then kicks it out of bounds on the full. It's always going to be hard work for Sard, running that fast, trying to pick up the footy with his foot. And Bowie going to send him back inside forward 50. Ben Brown's the target. He leaps at it. He's taken out of it. Lucky not to get a free kick paid against there, the Blues. And they're under the pump, and the ball just still bobbling around, and Chera takes it across and will have the ball in. It was a point in the end, 55 to the Demons, 81 to the Blues.
Is there any sort of ceremony or something, Daisy, when you hand over the number 39? What did that look like?
No, it wasn't. I got a knock on the door from Stephen Silvani, who just quickly said you're no longer wanted. So it wasn't really a ceremony.
Okay.
More of a firing, if you will.
Leave it there.
Yeah.
Drop the jumper there and piss off, basically.
Well, I did leave a nice message on the door, which probably classified as graffiti, not a message. But anyway,
it's another 7,500. There's Oscar McDonald wearing said 39 with pride. Brayshaw. Is that still in? No. Free kick will go Carlton's way on the wing. 24 minutes gone in the third quarter. The Blues 13-3-81. Melbourne 8-7-55 have kicked 4 goals to 3 this quarter, the reigning premiers. It's a big deficit. If you have just joined us, they were 33 points down at half-time.
Move it on.
Carlton went on a run and kicked 7 unanswered goals to set this one up.
Play on.
Far from done yet. Ball inside Carlton's 50. Jackson.
Still on.
Back by hand for the Blues, for the D's. Only as far as Fisher. He didn't blaze away. Look at the short option. No free kick paid. Setterfield picked it up off the ground. Now Chera is back to the goals. Gives to Newman. 45 metres out. Up and under ball. Not his best effort. Out of bounds on the full.
Only been one premiership player to wear 39 for the Blues, and that was Ange Christou. There's only been 2 players play 100 games in the 39 for Red Z Lending. That was Ange and also Dale Thomas. Big Sauce Jacobs wore 39 the first time he was at the Blues. Anything to add for that? Triple M Red Z Lending?
Yeah, Red Z Lending stats. Dale Thomas, not the only Dale to wear number 39 for Carlton. Fraser Dale wore it in 2 games for Carlton before giving it to Daisy.
Thanks for that. Really added on to the stats I had.
Daisy's facial expression. Poor old Fraser Dale.
So the Blues work the ball to centre wing, and Zach Williams goes all the way back to centre half back. Young, short ball. O'Brien, been pretty good tonight, O'Brien. Left foot, wants to go to the middle. This is a big ball. He got the Cripps. Cripps, free kick mark, whatever you like. He's in the middle of the ground. 4.5 minutes to go. They need a goal, the Blues. The Demons have got the last 3. He goes wide. Nick Newman, got an acre of space on the outer side, the city side of Marvel Stadium. Left foot easing ball inside 50 and coming in from the side, dropping the mark was Martin. Oliver picked it up, went one way then the other, and got it back to Tomlinson, who spun around, should be holding the ball for sure. And it is. So Matt Owies was the man doing the tackling up against the fence. McDonald's all over that fence out there. I know my right sponsor.
With me.
And Owies.
10 metres, mate. Yep.
It's like a strong little man. He's filling out that jumper, Daisy.
He certainly is. Elite level basketballer, Brownie. Went to uni over there in the States.
Pretty small for a basketballer.
That's why he's probably here playing footy.
Matt Owies, he can kick it. That's bad. It's out in the full. I was going to say he can kick a footy. Not on that occasion. 81 plays 55. 4 minutes to go, third term. Blues in control, but the Demons have kicked the last 3.
Fantastic pressure, though, from the young fella. Back-to-back. Williamson laid the first tackle. Owies then in with the second one. Good enough to get holding the ball.
McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M rocks footy. 81 plays 55. Clayton Oliver just shapes up to Jordan Boyd, run past and said, okay, cool, thanks for that. Big pack around this ball. At left half forward. Chera's hands have been slick in the contest tonight. Cripps, underground handball to O'Brien, into the pocket to Koenig, big fly again. Split that pack in 2. Then Oliver caught one high. He's going to hang on to one of these, Tom de Koning, and when he does, it'll be mark of the year.
So the Demons release the ball towards centre wing. Fisted away by the Blues, and that's McGovern. Really good fist, timely, out of bounds.
Really like what I've seen from Mitch McGovern across half-back. We were talking about it very early on in the piece, that he looked a little bit nervous, a little bit unsure of where he needed to be. But as the game's gone on, he's got better. He'll only grow with confidence the more he plays there. Positioning's been A1, making the right decisions, when to try and mark it, when to spoil, especially after quarter time.
Carlton by 26 points. Boundary throw on the outer side. Fisher was good. He got it to Chera. Chera had a double grab and it got it back to Fisher. Inside forward 50. But no one back there. And Lever takes the mark. Should have done better on that occasion. They had the open 50 and Lever releases to the outer side.
3 minutes remaining. Lever's kick was off the instep. It worked out all right, though. Gawn has it on the wing. McDonald runs really hard to receive. One-on-one's inside 50. Pick at the target in the pocket. And he couldn't mark. Lewis Young on it. Knocked it out of play.
Mark, you up. Melbourne. Thanks, Ben. Ben and Mark. Thank you.
13-3-81. Plays 8-7-55. 30 metres around from Melbourne's goal.
Both engaged, play on.
Langdon saw it off the pack, hit it at speed.
Pushing the back, advantage.
Advantage is paid and it's a goal. No one had a body on him. It's back to a 20-point game now, Dose.
Yeah, it certainly is, and these are the moments of lapses in concentration. Yes, the boys probably have a right to be a bit puffed after putting in 2.5 really decent quarters of footy, but they're the coach killers. They're the ones that you just give up that are far too easy. Langdon came from the backside of the stoppage as a wingman and had no one put a glove on him as he ran straight through. Just gets back to that nervy sort of time now, and as we spoke about in that first quarter, becomes a big 2 minutes for the Blues. Can they score? Can they stop Melbourne from scoring, who've been on the tear this quarter?
Yeah, and Red Z lending stats, Carlton's pressure's dropped right off this quarter, was 210 in the second quarter. Their pressure factor 155 so far this term, below the AFL average.
Might head down to Nat and just find out, just go through those Blues players that they rested in this third quarter.
Yeah, so Harry Mackay, Jack Silvani and Ed Curnow have been rested for this second half. A couple of them came in with some niggling injuries. Of course, being pre-season, it makes more sense not to make it worse. And then, of course, Corey Durden is also out with a calf injury, so really disappointing for him. But it means that all 8 players from the interchange are back on the have been on the ground.
Nats down to the boundary for Triple M. For McDonald's, Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Demons have the last 4 of the game. Back to a 20-point margin. The ball goes out of bounds. Daisy, I reckon since Mackay hadn't had a big game, but I think he offered them structure, and I think since he's gone off the ground, their entries inside forward 50 haven't been as clean, and they haven't really had a target down there.
And there's been one man who's been mopping everything up, and that was his direct opponent in Lever.
So boundary throw in. Out of side, Kennedy got it out to Cripps. Cripps high up and under one, and he got it out, but eventually the ball popped out. Petrarca found some space. Right foot inside forward 50. Reading it better was Big Tom McDonald. Can he get the ball onto the boot? He can't, and that's holding the ball as Cosy Pickett runs in, but the umpire said incorrect disposal, and a free kick to the Blues in the back pocket. It's going to go to McGovern.
Good kick out of defence. Put O'Brien under some pressure. Then he got Oliver high. He looks a bit sore after it, Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, he's down. Harvey Norman replay, just not a swinging arm, but just certainly lassoed him around the neck in the tackling motion. Probably a little bit of carry on really from Curry, but
he does like to show you when he's been touched.
Great to see he's okay though. That's the ending story. There it is. What a fly, Tom McConey. Use Max Gawn as a step ladder. He's really high. That kick can fly.
So the ball's out of bounds now as we wait for the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen of that massive skyscraper mark from Big Tom DeConing. You said 5 minutes ago he was going to take a ripper, and that's all over the top of Max Gawn. What a leap that is. The good friends at Harvey Norman. Be good on the 75-inch of that one.
Poor, wouldn't it, with the on-off button on the remote?
One of those universal remotes that they sell separately to any TV. You blokes can't get your head around. Harvey Norman, they do great deals too. So the ball to half forward. Mark taken by Parks, who's already banged one from 55 in this term. Mark number 2, short ball to the top of the 50. It's a good one too. Does it open up? Cottrell, where does he go? Left, right, short ball. He pulled it, but then he just kicked it to nowhere. Straight back to Neil Bullen. He zigged when he should have zagged, and the Demons get the ball.
It's all with thanks to Ream Hot Water, steady, hot and strong. Install a Ream. NFL Community Series all weekend long on Triple M Footy. Play short, left half back. Careful kick to Petrarca. They decide to go. There's only 20 seconds left. Melbourne want to push forward. Williams dropped the mark, but McDonald was there to help him out. And Cripps ducks back inside, and he was caught high.
There'll be 50 more. Oh, use it again. Have some of that, said T-Bone.
Cripps is laughing.
Petrarca bit his tongue. Tom McDonald, not so smart, just came in. And now Maxi Gawn's had to step in and intervene between the both of them and say, maybe pull your head in. Keep your mouth guard in and shut it.
Max Gawn's running around as the captain saying, who said that?
This is for number 4 for Paddy Cripps.
How many 50 metres is that, Heath? Red Head Lendings.
That's now 8-0 Carlton's way.
Wow.
I'll get back to you in a second.
Sire will go.
They've kicked the last 4 of the game, Melbourne. They've gift-wrapped this one for Patrick Cripps, who's already kicked 3 from the midfield. 25 metres out, directly in front. Makes his way in. It's a 26-point lead for Carlton at three-quarter time. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Blues are in a good position. We're back with the fourth quarter after this.
That quarter for Ream. Steady, hot and strong. Install the Ream.
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
I am such a good flat packer and setter-upper.
All right, okay. I'm free at home this Sabo. You're welcome to join me.
I have an appointment.
What do you do?
It's a surprise.
Is it? Oh. Really? You transitioning?
Yeah.
Oh, in an afternoon. This will be interesting to see the results of this. Larry with us tomorrow. Larry Barry.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Haven't caught the Hamish and Andy podcast lately? Here's just some of what you've been missing.
Ahoy to you, Ham.
Ahoy, mate.
I still get excited at the start of the show with the countdown, the 3, 2, 1. And I know we get to hear it every week.
But I get a bit of, here we go. What do I have on the show today? And then they go, hang on a sec, you're one of them. It's up to you. The Hamish and Andy podcast, brought to you by AAMI. Great value cover you won't regret. Download the Listener app and listen for free.
Listener.
Working in the cloud is a better way to build together. With Autodesk Construction Cloud software, the sky's the limit. Your team can design, plan, build and operate from office to field and connect workflows, teams and data at every stage of construction to help reduce risk, maximise efficiency and increase profits. Autodesk Construction Cloud, trusted on over 2 million construction jobs around the world. Try it free today. construction.autodesk.com.
When it comes to delivering a quality finish for your client's bathroom renovation, Mondella has bathroom designs made to last. With a choice of on-trend collections and quality fittings, all backed by a 10-year warranty. Find out more at mondella.com.au. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Athena Home Loans have just dropped their rates. Again! For the 9th time in a row, Athena just dropped variable rates to give you one of the lowest fee-free home loans in Australia. Super low rates and fee-free. Just one of the ways Athena is helping Aussies pay down their home loans faster. So what are you waiting for? Get saving today. Go to athena.com.au to see how much you could save. Athena, love us and leave us. Standard credit criteria, terms, conditions and government charges apply.
At CMI Hino, our expert sales team makes sure your truck is legal and compliant. Visit our Derrimut showroom today.
CMI Hino, Melbourne's home of Hino trucks.
The countdown's over.
For the first time ever,
And there's the first try.
Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands compete in the Super Rugby Pacific competition.
Looking real good.
The only place to watch every match.
Unbelievable.
Ad-free, live and on demand. Super Rugby Pacific, now streaming on the home of rugby, Stan Sport.
Tradies,
Beacon Trade's got your back with 120 stores open 7:30 weekdays and well stocked with fans, lights and electrical accessories at trade-only prices. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
The lowdown around town. 50,000 in gold, 5 winners. Get your Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery tickets before midnight Friday. Visit rmhlottery.com.au. The lowdown.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to feed the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack.
AAMI Community Series and the Blues. They led by 16 at quarter time, 33 at the half. Now they lead by 26 points. The Demons kicked 4 in a row. And Paddy Cripps kicked a goal on the side at three-quarter time. His fourth of the game. He's been outstanding for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. We've got a cracker here to finish. 14-387 the Blues, 9-7-61 the Demons as we have a look at the Triple M Red Z lending stats in that third term.
Yeah, Carlton still dominating around the ball. 16 clearances to 6 in that term. 22 inside 50s to 12. What they couldn't do, as if Daisy Nathan that third term, they couldn't take a mark. Just one mark inside 50 from 19 kicks inside 50. D's, on the other hand, 75% by foot after going at just 58% in that second half. Leading ball winners on the ground. Petrarca 23, Oliver 23, and Gawn, number one ranked player for the D's with 21. For Carlton, Kennedy 29, Hewitt 27. But Paddy Cripps, number one ranked player on the ground, 28 disposals. 14 of those came in the third term, 4 goals.
4 goals to go with 28. Kennedy's been fantastic, 2 goals with 29. The Blues have come to play. Their midfielders work, Daisy. They've got Mackay sitting on the bench at the moment, having a rest. Everything's going well.
It certainly is. As we just have a look down at ground level here, if you don't think a community series game means too much, the D's are in a tight huddle. Simon Goodwin got them in there. They are in there still late as the Blues players are going out. So there's obviously something on the line here that they want to get out of this last term, something they want to work on because they have been ill-disciplined. They've given away the 850s. Carlton have been the better team on the night, if we're being completely honest, regardless of the players going off the ground for the Blues in that third term. And some of those Melbourne players, Lever especially, getting on top and starting to set up well behind the ball like we expect. But I think for the Blues, though, he's certainly happy with what they've done, but it's not job done yet, and I think that'll be the big message that Michael Voss will be drilling into his charges as they come in this fourth term.
One of the highlights on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen was big Tom De Koning took a hanger over Max Gawn in the goal square in the defensive end. Let's head down to the boundary, Nat Unides, before three-quarter time gets us underway.
Looks like a full bill of health for the D's at the moment, which is exactly what you want in a pre-season game. But tell you what, Clayton Oliver is not having a good time out there in the heat. He spent the whole three-quarter break with an ice towel over his head, having a bit of a lie-down. Doesn't look like someone who would go well in the sun, does Clayton Oliver?
No, us pasties don't do well in the sun normally, Nat. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, 14-3-87, 9-7-61. This Harms busting through the middle. Handball's off to Jackson at centre half forward. Back to Neil Bullen, who was tackled. Kicked the ball, who was laying on the ground. The Blues can mop it up, although Saad has a fumble. Goal inside the first 20 seconds. Bailey Fritz pounces on the loose one and kicks his fourth.
Well, an absolute gift it was. The Blues had done well to scramble in defence. Brackets McGovern handballed it off to Saad, I think it was, down there, who had the fumble across the goal line. And Fritsch could not believe his luck as it spilled straight to him off a step. Goal. Perfect start for the D's. Boy, you wouldn't like to see that one again, Saad. Right out of the bread basket. My old maths teacher used to say, Brownie, if that was a watermelon, you'd have pips all over yourself, son.
What was his name?
Eddie Miller.
Shout out to one of Daisy's former tutors. Bailey Fritz has got 4. Been quiet, but when you say quiet, he's kicked 4 goals. So he's done his job tonight. Back to 20 points. Big 5 minutes of footy coming up. For McDonald's Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Out of the middle, Harms got the last one out. Can he get this one? Tries to barge his way through, but the umpire said, you're wrapped up. We're going to ball that up. George Hewitt gets up and drags Harms up. Petrarca's in there as well. Umpire elevates it into the air. Gawn appealing for a free kick. Couldn't get it. Pitnet to Hewitt. Chera, left foot. The lead up of Martin towards centre wing is good. Players coming at him. Cottrell going back. That's where he goes. Cottrell will elevate himself. Marks 70 metres out. Turns around. What's he got to go to? De Koning. Why not? He's a big lump of a lad. He gets in front. He's going to get a free kick, is he? No. It's against the Koning. Free kick to Melbourne in Tomlinson.
Played that really well, did Tomlinson. Always had eyes on where the ball was, where the kicker was coming, but also had feel on his man, de Koning. Took the dangerous space, which meant he had to reach around him to get past him.
Stephen May not playing tonight, missing from their back six, as is Michael Hibbert, both just being rested with soreness. Christian Salem, also a key part of their back six, not playing tonight. Outside of that, with the exception of Trent Rivers, who's going to miss 3 to 4 with a knee injury, and Harry Petty, similar with a calf, they're going to be pretty well full strength coming into this season, Melbourne. Martin had it socket away from him. Ball bounces end on end to the middle of Marvel Stadium. Williams has a fumble. And Brown gathers. His kick splits the two targets that he was after in Langdon and Spargo. Instead, it's marked by Newman, who handballs off to Martin.
The ball's short to a 50-50. It's going to be turned over here, and the Demons through Neil Bullen picked it up, and he got tackled straight away. And then Fisher came through with a clean pair of heels down towards half forward. Cottrell's been instrumental since he's come on. Cripps to Hewitt from 55. Hewitt on the left. Not going to be a wide. Through for one behind. Been pretty good, Hewitt. Numbers for Red Z Lending.
Yeah, George Hewitt, number one ball winner on the ground. 30 disposals so far, 7 clearances as well.
The luxury of Hewitt. He played a lot of stopping roles at Sydney, but when he was let loose, he can actually get the pill himself. Hunt to do the kicking in.
Will he be a stopper with the Blues, do you think, Days? Or
I think he will be at times, most definitely. And as Brownie said, I think it was in the pre-game, McGovern elevates, and he's been really nice. I think it will probably be against Dusty in round 1.
McGovern plays on. After that good mark on the wing, de Koning tackle Tomlinson. Ball jars free. Smith dispossessed, and Spargo can work together with Langdon. And he was dumped after he handball. Advantage will be paid. Harms has run on. Can gather. Has got Fritsch inside 50 if he's quick enough. That's the direction he heads. And Fritsch is going to get a free kick. Triple M Harvey Norman replay will tell the story, but it looked like an arm over the shoulder from Zach Williams.
Yeah, I think that's what it will be. Well done to young Rivers as well. Identified that Fritsch was free in the pocket, was running back, leading back towards goal. Just checked his lead, so to separate the defender, made Zach Williams play 2 for 1. In the end, got there late, arm across the shoulder, free kick every day of the week.
This for 5. Left forward pocket, a couple of steps in from the boundary. He can kick them from anywhere, this guy. The D's are making a run at it now. They've kicked the first 2 of this last quarter, and it's back to a 15-point game with only 5 minutes played in the last.
Looks like it's really starting to open up. A lot of tired bodies out there. There's nothing quite like the match fitness, no matter how many pre-season run-throughs you do, no matter how many laps of the ovals, 2K time trials, practice matches you have. There is nothing like the real thing. And although we're still only a week away from it, this is the first decent hit out against real opposition. Cameras are rolling, nowhere to hide. They look like they are fairly spent. We're still the best part of a quarter to go. Bailey Fritsch, pretty handy disposal. We said that he didn't need a whole lot to hurt you, and he's been fantastic again tonight.
For Red Z Lending, can we go through maybe Bailey Fritz's last 3 to 4 games and how many goals he's kicked?
Well, he kicked 11 goals in his last 2 games now. I'll get his finals up for you shortly, Brown.
So for McDonald's and Reemont Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Blues need an answer. Paddy Cripps is the man. He's kicked 4, 30 on disposals, run into a brick wall, trying to get it up to Chera. Chera overran it. Going in was Ed Langdon, the running man. He couldn't pick it up. Viney gets a free kick, pushed in the back. It's all the Demons at the moment. 15-point margin, 88 plays 73. Viney, short ball, looking for Pickett, just got over the top, and now he gets it and runs Pickett. He's got pace to burn inside forward 50, looking for Gorm, but it goes wide. Out of bounds on the full. Blues to get the free kick. Triple M Red Z Lending.
Yeah, Bailey Fritsch, last 6 games now, or last 5 and a bit games, 25 goals.
Pretty impressive.
It's almost sort of an 8 to 10 week patch.
Well, comparable to the Blues' second largest goal kicker on the season last year with 20 Eddie Betts.
That is true. Finally wrapped up. Free kick against Plowman. It's all for McDonald's. Score enough to feed the whole team. Macca's 40-piece chicken McNuggets pack.
Move it on, play on.
Viney from the wing. Gordon couldn't get a clean run at it. It's slapped away. First there is Chera. He's done some nice things in his first game as a Blue. Along the wing. Pinpoints a pass to Plowman. He's come into the game late. He's kicked nice to Williamson at half forward. Good build up here for the Blues. Even better finish from Fisher. That looked good.
It certainly did. It was crisp, and it's Plowman. He's out there. He's got the white boots. Usually we see more of a colourful man, Brown. He goes with the pink quite often. But again, he's a defender playing across half forward. It was he who went to Williamson, who's also a defender playing across half forward tonight, and just gave it out to Fisher, who was good enough. But they're obviously trialling some different things with Mitch McGovern going from that forward line down to the back line. You got Sard, you got Williams down there as well. They've thrown a few of these blokes around to get a different look, a different dynamic. And Plowman now starting out of the full forward goal square in the Sam Newman-esque white boots.
The Blues by 21 points. Nat Yanidis on the boundary.
We're going to get our first look at Sam Wiedemann for the night. The training shirt has come off and he's just had a bit of a warm-up.
Just having a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen at that warm-up. It's a big boy, Sam Wiedemann, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Jackson in the middle. Got it to Viney. Can he pick it up? It doesn't settle for him, so he socks it off the ground towards the big Bison. Kennedy back towards Williams, who then goes back. And they mark the footy. I don't like it when they continually go back like that, Daisy, but they've retained the ball out to Kennedy. Numbers for Kennedy, Red Z Lending.
Kennedy, 31 disposals now, most on the field.
It's a big match to go with 2 goals, yeah?
Yeah, 2 goals, 9 clearances as well.
So Kennedy, from half-back to just past centre wing, the attacking side, fisted away by Lever. And out of bounds on the outer side. 94 plays 73. 9 minutes gone this last term. The Blues lead by 21 points. Fritsch has 5 for the Demons. Cripps has 4 for the Blues. All the stars are out to play.
So Sam Wiedemann sitting next to Simon Goodwin, trying to get his way into the game, as Nat told us. Has already played today. Played for Casey in the VFL game. Kicked 4 goals in a half and got to butter up again tonight. Hunt. He's away on the outer side. A bounce and then a second. They got him. What a chase from Tom DeConing.
Well, that is what you love to see. Harvey Norman replay in the background. The Blues fans on their feet. That is a ruckman chasing down a man who should be a lot quicker, but also maybe should have just had a look what was in front of him.
203 centimetres and he ran him down with ease. As Kennedy dives to mark in the forward pocket.
I dare argue there was a bit of running down, also a bit of run into.
Yeah. Hunt
just kept running and bouncing straight at him.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn, Daisy. Chopper Reed said that. And Kennedy from the pocket. 31 disposals, as he said. 2 goals. 7 marks. He played 13 games last year. Has always just been around the mark with Carlton. Without getting too carried away, this might be the year for him. This will take his best. It's across the face. Smith whacks it out of bounds. Throw in next to the behind post, left forward pocket.
And they work some magic here, the Blues. Paddy Cripps at these stoppages has been outstanding. Kick the left foot snap at this end in the second term. Boundary throw in. Pitnet and Jackson. Pitnet picks it up, snaps it. It's going to go wide though. And Smith's the only one back there. It was a good effort. Smith marks it comfortably on his chest. Short ball finds Tomlinson. Still in the back pocket. Tomlinson off for the lead by Petrarca. Now he goes with a long one. Looking for McDonald. DeConing pushed away. Gawn was there as well. Viney went in. Got the handball out. Sparrow. He's got a runner on the outside. Does he use him? No, he doesn't. Just tumbles a ball. Luckily lands in the hands of Neil Bullen, but he dropped it. Coming in was McDonald, and the ball wrapped up on centre wing. We'll have a ball up. 94 plays 73. 21-point lead to the Blues. 11 and a half gone in the final term.
The Blues will play Richmond in round 1, as they always do, on the Thursday. Melbourne will open the season on the Wednesday in the grand final rematch against the Western Bulldogs at the MCG. Williams from full-back. Williamson made the kick look okay. He coming out of defence. 1-on-1 on the wing. Kicked off the ground by Hunt. That was better. Harms run down as soon as he took possession. Carlton just keep willing it forward. Not with any class and not with any style. Just making it happen. Chera. He's tackled. Now gone. Can settle things up for the D's. Oliver. What are his Reds, Edsy?
Clayton Oliver, 26 disposals, 16 of those contested.
That's not his best one. Onto the chest of Lewis Young, and he's Sard off halfback.
Needs to hit a target, Sard, and he does, into the middle of the ground. Williamson, right in the middle of Marvel. He's got a couple of players on the left side. Parks is one of those, but he elects not to go there. Longer, looking for, and finding almost Owies. Spun in, spun out. Cottrell smothered off the boot. Someone got one in the head. It was off Cottrell's boot. Pressure from Carlton's outstanding. Max Gorn can't pick it up. He had 8 goes at it. Eventually just paddled it out, Oliver. And the releasing ball out towards Ben Brown, who marches just inside the field of play.
It's gone up a notch in this last quarter.
It certainly has. Bowie was your boy, Brownie, who wore one straight to the face. It wasn't a boot, it was the middle of the Sherrin logo.
Ow. Pickett, broadcast wing. Looks inside to Viney. What are his Reds, Eds?
Yeah, Jack Viney for Reds Ed Lending Stats has had the 15 disposals.
Looks for Wiedemann. It slipped through his fingers. Ball still bouncing around. It's 40 metres out from Melbourne's goal. Newman back. And Williams. Not a great handball for Oscar McDonald. That's not a great kick either. I think he still thought that he was playing with Clayton Oliver. He had no time, no space. Good tackle by Boyd. Forces the ball up 50 metres out from goal.
Well, if anything, the back line has been slightly sus from the Blues when it has been down there a lot. They've held up well enough because the weight of numbers has been in their forward line or their midfield's got the job done. But probably the only query thus far tonight is how long they can sustain it when the ball's down there for long periods.
Ball up on 50 for the Demons. Released towards centre wing. Martin. Handball came from Chera. Out towards Cottrell. He received it inside forward now. They get the ball to Chera. Space in the middle. Going inside forward 50 was Newman. The kick needs to be good. Owies dives and he's paid the mark. Umpire was right there. But have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. He looks like a pretty honest sort of lad.
I'm not 100% convinced. We are a long way away, but that looked like it caught a fair bit of turf. We went upstairs. What's Blocker Wilson got to say?
I reckon he might have got his arms just under it.
It's one of the right pipe, maybe. It's a decent sized pipe, too.
You wouldn't claim it if you're in the slips. You'd be waiting for the second umpire, or even the third one. So Matt Owies. He'll kick from just inside the 50. Good celebrator normally. Gave us a subpar one in the second term. That's not going to be a goal. It's right to the line and into the post. 95 plays 73. The Blues lead by 22 points. 8 minutes 55 to go in this Community Series game.
It's the one goal tonight for Matt Owies. Third in their goal-kicking award last year, albeit from a pretty small sample size. It'll be a block against Oscar. Free kick will go to Tom. He kicks on the left foot. Interesting up and under kick. Gorn labours after it. He ran past the ball. Kennedy at centre half back for the Blues. Off to Sard. And tuck it under the arm and puts it out in front of Owies at right half forward. If he can gather cleanly, he's got options up ahead. Looks for Plowman, who might have been held. That rolls out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Plowman really showed his lack of understanding of how to play forward then. He just needed to present up at Owies, and for some reason he didn't really charge up hard at the ball. And in the end, he was caught nowhere.
Yeah, he went back to the goal square expecting his defender to come with him, but it was Lever, too smart for that, stood in front, took the dangerous space, gave him nowhere to lead.
Gorn flips it out the back. Tackle late on Harms, that's holding the ball. Good tackle by the Blues, and the ball's going to go to Fisher, who kicked the last goal of the game. And
James, back 1 metre.
this one, You'd have to say will make it very hard for the Demons.
This is something that the Blues will be very, very pleased with, you'd imagine. Their forward 50 pressure, something that was lacking last year. The ball came in but came out all too easy. Tonight they've been fantastic. Fisher, Owies, Durden, all been brilliant in that aspect of the game. Tell you what he will do. He'll take the big arc out at the end here, Brownie.
Nice game. 20 disposals, coming in for goal number 3 if he can kick it. As Daisy said, gets on the arc, gives it everything right to the line, fisted through. One behind, got a bit of claret coming out of his nose as well. So 96 to 73, 23-point margin. 17 and a half gone in the last quarter. The Blues lead.
Tomlinson, first receiver from the back pocket. Kick was over the head of Langdon. Looked tired as he was trying to take that mark. Ball back with Sard on the wing. He doesn't look tired. He's still got plenty of run in his legs, as does Kennedy. Searches into the forward pocket and has Jack Martin. 45 metres out from goal, right against the boundary.
That's your line, Jack. Stand now. Stand. Get your fly.
Into Koning.
15 gone, Jack.
Gets back into the goal square. This might be tailor-made for him to take another hanger.
Almost love to see him have a go, bloke of his skill set, Brownie, on the left foot drop punt here.
He's going to kick with the right. Sets it up. DeConing couldn't get a run at it. Gone. Kills the contest. Through behind. Carlton 15-7, 97. Melbourne 11-7, 73. 6.5 minutes remaining at Marvel Stadium.
So can the Blues hold on? And what have the Demons got left?
Play on.
Bowie to do the kicking in. It's a shank. It goes wide. Lewis Young, first one there, got it on the half volley. Viney, little handball out towards McDonald, the meat eater, got it to Wiedering, his first touch. Running carry for the Demons is outstanding to Neil Bullen, who has a bounce, crosses the 50, lowers the eyes, and the Demons have got one back, they're still in it. That was quick from the back pocket to scoring a major at the other end. 97 plays 79, and it's an even 18 points.
Crisp it was, however, Lewis Young on the half-back flank there had the chance to kill the ball. Just all we need to do, professional fumble it out of bounds. I think everyone else on the play had given up, but he didn't. It spilled to the Ds, and it was crisp. Ball did not hit the deck, and away they went from the half-back flank, which we haven't seen a lot tonight. Full credit to the Blues in that aspect, Ethan.
Well, it's all come in the second half with the Ds. Of their 9 goals so far in the second half, 5 of them been generated from their defensive 50.
We won short at that end.
24 disposals and a goal. Alex Neil-Bullen in last year's grand final.
Against Melbourne,
Very popular player with Demons supporters.
Hold your positions. Hold your positions. Just Matt. Wait, Tom. Matt. Tom. Hold your position. Just wait. It's a free kick. Yeah.
666 infringement.
Yep. Free kick to Carlton, starting. Free kick to Carlton. Free kick to Carlton, starting position.
Free kick to Carlton,
which is incredible considering that they didn't have a player inside the centre square.
Not sure how that works. Anyway, it's a free kick to Carlton. Long ball. Plowman couldn't get a clean run at it. Hewitt couldn't take it cleanly either. 40 metres out from Carlton's goal. Harms in and under for the Blues. It was hacked off the ground by Pickett. It works out okay to Jackson. He darts back inside. They're a little unsure where they want to head here, Melbourne. Harms chips it out in front of Petrarca. Still inside the centre square. Now Wiedemann can fly. Doesn't hang on to it. Fritsch crumbs. Misses. Missed out on number 6.
Ream hot water, steady, hot and strong, and Saul Ream. Nat, what's the crowd been like tonight?
Well, don't say that pre-season matches don't mean anything to the fans, because there's a couple thousand here at Marvel Stadium, both Carlton and Melbourne supporters here. A lot of them have been starved of footy over the last couple of years with COVID restrictions, but we are finally heading into a season that we will have 100% capacity, or up to 100% capacity at stadiums, which is really exciting for the fans and just for footy fans in general, just for the feel of it.
Just noticing the bench man down there for the Blues holding up the Carlton logo. Can you tell us what that's for, Nat?
I have absolutely no idea. I can only assume that they want them to kick it to other Carlton players.
Brilliant answer. Now he's down to the boundary, doing a great job as the Demons go forward again. Wiedemann tackled as soon as he got it. Really good tackle by Parks. Fritsch, he's already kicked 5. Can he soccer off the ground? Rolling, and through to the wrong side. Fritsch is looking dangerous, and the Demons are coming. 81 plays, 97, 16-point margin in favour of the Blues. 4 minutes 37 to go in this one.
Just getting that to keep an eye on. Sard coming off the ground there, walked off the last 15 metres, and also just straight to the physios having a chat to him. Not sure if you can see down there, Nat, what he's chatting about.
Looks like he's talking about his ribs at the moment, but you're absolutely right, Daisy. He came straight to the bench.
Still time for Melbourne if they're good enough. 4.5 of it. Spargo and a fumble. It's become a bit greasy in the back half of this game. Oliver ripped off it. Kick around the corner. Only as far as Jackson though. That kick coming from centre field. And Melbourne can change direction here if they want. Joel Smith at centre half back. Next link in the chain is Bowie.
So Bowie in the middle of the ground looks for Petrarca at centre half forward. Marks it. 2 kicks from home. Turns around. Pumps it inside forward 50. McDonald's the target. Can't mark it. Off the ground. Sparrow got another one. Becoming desperate for the Blues now. Sparrow has 2, and it's a 10-point ball game. 3 minutes 41 to go. 97 the Blues, 87 the Demons. It's been a big second half of the Demons, who at one point trailed by 45.
It certainly has been. Well done down there to Big McDonald. Crashed the pack up against 2 of the Blues players. Provided the front and centre, provided the crumb. A nice finish there, but they certainly are coming. And for the Blues, well, they just need to be steady here. They don't need to do anything. They've obviously got a 10-point margin, but they can't completely shut up shop. Need to get control of the footy. They can do that, obviously, back through the midfield, get some territory, apply some good pressure into the Ds. Well, expect them to be playing on at all costs, because once they've turned that Blues defence around, they've scored rather easily, especially in this fourth term.
Some fourth quarter numbers, Heath, that are standing out for Red Z Lendy.
Yeah, leading ball winner on the field, Adam Tomlinson, in his first game back, eight touches in this term, 21 for the game.
The McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. At one point, Carlton led by 45 points.
We got 7 Melbourne here. Yeah, okay. I got 5.
Tell you what, the Melbourne boys might have to get the abacus out of training this week.
Stay in your position. Stay.
It's another free kick, so just what you don't need when you're trying to get the ascendancy and get some field position. A 6-6-6 free kick. Another one.
These fans aren't happy. Their players can't get organised.
Outside 5, Clayton, you're fine. Outside 5.
Williamson has it on the wing.
Move it on. Play on.
Clock ticks down to 3.5 minutes. Long left foot kick. Kennedy came in for the side and takes a ripper.
He's been fantastic all evening, hasn't he, really? He's been the one. He's had the clean hands, provided a target up forward, but also been tough in and under. He and Cripps through the midfield. But his ability to go forward and catch the ball, put those jukes up, that was a big pack mark, came in from the side. The Harvey Norman replay, the man who had his name written all over it, good enough to juke it.
36 disposals, 9 marks, 2 goals and a shank. Out of bounds on the full. 10 points down Melbourne as we approach 2.5 minutes remaining.
Lever with a long one. Looking for Gawn. Probably get a free kick over the top. Advantage played. You heard the umpire. Mucked up exclusively for Triple M. Oliver goes to half forward. Wiedemann marks it. 70 from home. Turns around. A couple of players ducking back to the goal square. What does Wiedemann do? Chips the ball. Wars McDonald. Free kick to McDonald. The block was there. Eyes were taken off the footy by Williamson, and McDonald 30 metres out directly in front to make it 4 points.
Yeah, 12-point play. Miss up one end. D's play on from the advantage, straight up the other end. Big kick.
But what this man is an elite kick. He doesn't miss too often. Changed his diet last year, ate 6 kilos of meat a day, and just keeps running. McDonald should be able to kick the goal and does. The Demons back to 4 points. You wouldn't read about it. They trailed by 45 and now it is 4 with 2 minutes to go. And we've got the close one.
Well, it's been the speed of ball movement that's really troubled that Carlton defence, especially in this last term. They've done so well throughout the first three quarters. Their forwards and mids especially at folding in behind, slowing it down, not exposing that back line. They don't have Wiedering out there tonight. However, when it has come down there and it has come down quick, they have looked very, very dangerous, the Melbourne forwards. Last 10 goals, well, I think that makes 7 of them on my count. 8 of them have come to the D's, only 2 to the Blues.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. 4-point game. Let's get down to Nat Yannides. Nat, just a reminder who Carlton took out of the game at half-time.
Yeah, so at half-time, Harry Mackay, Jack Silvani and Ed Curnow were all rested for this half, and then the Blues did lose Corey Durden as well to a calf injury. So a lot of changing seats for the Blues in this second half.
Langdon takes it away on the wing. Thank you, Nat. Not his best one, though. Williamson got in the way. 1:40 left. As Daisy said, they can't shut up shop just yet. Or is now about the time, Daisy, that you can start to try and monopolise the footy a bit?
No, I still like to see you take some territory. Better having the ball in your end of the ground rather than chipping it and maybe giving a turnover to the D's in scoring range.
Brian kicks towards the boundary at half forward and Gawn knocks it out of play. Gets the stoppage, which would be the best result for Melbourne.
Oh, he's happy to do that, wasn't he, Max Gawn? Just wanted it out of bounds, and he'll take responsibility here to clear this ball. Melbourne players on the defensive side, they've got a couple of free ones, and that's where the ball goes. Langdon a high up and under ball. Wiedemann, can he mark it? No, he's outpointed. Well done by Nick Newman. Down to a minute 08. Newman in no hurry. He's saying, I'm going to go down the line, I'm going to hug the boundary, and that's exactly what he does. It's a high ball. Gawn's there, fisted down to ground level. Can they get the ball forward, the Demons? 4-point lead to the Blues. Coming in. O'Brien, a left foot ball down towards half forward. It gets in front of Plowman, and he's happy. Didn't even want to take the ball into his possession on that occasion, and it goes out of bounds with a boundary throw in. 43 seconds to go. Carlton 97, Melbourne 93.
A reminder tomorrow night from 7 o'clock, the Western Bulldogs take on Brisbane as the AAMI Community Series rolls on Triple M footy. O'Brien wants to get back on his left foot, gave it to Fisher, who was stationary. He kicked quickly, and playing in front and marking is Lockie Plowman. He can let the time soak off the clock, and this should take care of things for Carlton.
Well, only the 2 career goals next to his name. As we've said, spent a whole lot of his career at the fullback position, kicking the ball in. But should let this run right down, make sure there's no one behind him. 9 seconds, that'll do it. I'll try to have him kicking from a life, to be completely honest, Brownie.
As the siren sounds, Plowman misses. He doesn't care. The Blues pass the test. They defeat the reigning premiers by 5 points in the AAMI Community Series.
We are the Navy Blues. We are the old dark Navy Blues. We're the team that never lets you down. We're the only team on Carlton Road. We're all the champions they like to send up. We'll keep our end up, and they will know that they've been playing against the famous old dark Blues.
It's a damn good song that we haven't heard that much in recent times, but they led by 16 at quarter time, 33 at half time, and they got out to a 45-point lead early in the third term. 26-point lead at three-quarter time. The Demons closed within 4 in the last quarter, and the Blues ended up winning by 5 points, 15-8. 98 to the Demons, 14-9, 93. Paddy Cripps was the star. He kicked 4. So too was Kennedy. He kicked 2 and had 36 to 37 possessions. The other end, Bailey Fritsch had a night out with 5. So a good win to the Blues. Just waiting to see if there's anyone that's going to talk to the broadcasters down there that we can have a chat to. But Daisy, Dan, good win to the Blues.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think they'll be very pleased with what they were able to do, especially in that first half. Yes, the second half they took a few of their stars off and they got exposed a little bit in that back line. But I think that first half especially, the pressure they were able to put on the ball and stop and stymie Melbourne from transitioning from end to end, they'll be pumped with that. For the D's, full credit to them for having a go and coming back. As you can see them leaving the ground here, they are a little bit dejected, so I would assume that they might have the meetings. It's not alarm bells, of course. It is only the AAMI Community Series. They've got to get themselves right and cherry right for round one. A lot more and a lot bigger fish in the pond for them to try and catch, if you will, go down that line with me. But you know what I'd love to hear from? Matty Kennedy. He was fantastic tonight.
How many stats for Triple M Red Z lending for that man?
Yeah, Matt Kennedy, leading ball winner on the ground, 37 disposals in the end, 9 marks, 10 score involvements, 2 goals too.
Here he is with Fox Footy.
How much confidence will the team take from this pre-season hit out against the reigning premiers?
Yeah, look, they're a bloody tough side, but I think we're building confidence day one of pre-season. Obviously, Vossi, a new set of coaches. I think the first step was just building really good connection, and from that, a lot of trust has flowed from that. And I think it starts with the way we train, and it's been a pretty brutal pre-season, but yeah, the boys have done well, and we're just building confidence week by week.
You mentioned the whole new coaching team. Is there a particular coach that's had an impact on you? Because you were outstanding tonight.
I think I've done a lot of work with Lukey Power over the last couple of years, and then Timmy Clark coming into that midfield role. They really complement each other, and yeah, those two have been working really closely with the mids and the two new guys in Georgie Hewitt and Ches, and really good connection has been formed between players and coaches, and I think we're seeing that grow onto the field.
Your back end to last season was great. What did you exactly do in the off-season to push for more senior opportunities this year? Because it started well tonight with 37 touches and 2 goals.
I think for me it's probably fitness. Trying to lose a little bit of weight was really the start, and then Vossi's been really banging on and getting plenty of mids through there, so I think we're just working well together and sharing the ball. So
I'll tell you who else is looking lean and mean is the captain, Paddy Cripps. What about him?
Yeah, he's looking all right, the big fella, that's for sure, but hey, thank God he's led from the front and just growing in confidence, like I've been saying, and trust.
Big night for that man, Matty Kennedy, 37 disposals, 2 goals. And the man he just spoke about, Paddy Cripps, had 30 and kick for himself. The Blues have upset the Demons here at Marvel Stadium in the community game, 15-8-98. The Demons 14-9-93. Thanks for your company tonight, and always remember, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M, rock footy.
That quarter for McDonald's. Score enough to beat the whole team with Macca's 40-piece Chicken McNuggets pack.
Triple M rocks footy.
All day tomorrow. Turn on Triple M's Flock of 80s Friday as we flash back to the greatest decade. It's all 80s, all day. Triple M's Flock of 80s Friday. It's 100% 80s. 20% hairspray and 10% what the hell was I wearing? All day tomorrow on Triple M.
Melbourne's best buys.
No one likes going back to school, but everyone loves Primo Stackers. Salami, cheese and crackers in a handy snack pack. Primo Stackers, packed full of fun.
Best buys.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Tradies, at National Tiles we know how extra valuable your time is in this current building boom, so we've streamlined how quickly we can serve you. Just go online and order from thousands of National Tiles, adhesives, grouts and tools for immediate delivery or pickup. No waiting, no delays. Yes, at National Tiles our tradies are our VIPs, where we consistently strive to save you time and money every day of the year.
This year, you can win the holy grail of fantasy footy, and it means everything. That's right, along with 50 grand cash, you can win the first ever one-of-a-kind Holy Grail Chalice of KFC Supercoach AFL. Play now at supercom.au. Conditions apply.
The countdown's over.
For the first time ever.
And there's the first try.
Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands compete in the Super Rugby Pacific competition.
Looking real good.
The only place to watch every match.
Unbelievable.
Ad-free, live and on demand. Super Rugby Pacific, now streaming on the home of rugby, Stan Sport.
Do I promise to be a blood donor? Bloody oath I do. Right now, 1 in 2 donations are being cancelled. If you're feeling well, please donate today. Search Give Blood and book your donation with Australian Red Cross Lifeblood. Give life. Give blood.
Tools, tools, tools! Sydney Tools! Sydney Tools back to work sale is on now! Unimig 185 amp inverter welder with helmet and trolley now $9.99. Crazy deals on combo kits, hand tools, air compressors, laser levels, welders and much more. Score a free $200 gift card when you purchase a DeWalt 12-inch compound miter saw, just $12.40. Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed. Limited time only. Shop in store online. sydneytools.com.au.
A lot goes into 7-Eleven Southern Fried Wrap with RSPCA approved crunchy chicken on a bed of crisp slaw and smoky chipotle mayo. 7-Eleven's wrap range, handmade and delivered daily.
My business has hit a rough patch and so have I.
My business got support, but I haven't.
Don't downplay what's playing on your mind. New Access, developed by Beyond Blue, provides free and confidential mental health support for small business owners. It's via phone or video, and you don't need a doctor's referral.
Oh, yeah.
That'd really help.
Search New Access for small business owners and inquire today.
Aussie music is something to be proud of. Wear it like a badge. Because it's Australian bands and artists that are the influences of so many other musicians the world over. So at Triple M, we're proud to be able to showcase the power of the Aussie music scene, paying both homage to the greats that have stood the test of time, right alongside the current, the emerging, the future influences, the ones that will be next to make their mark on the global music scene. If it's Aussie and it rocks, it's right here. This is Triple M Aussie with Matty O.
Yes, around the country on the Triple M network, we are sending love and thinking of our friends in Queensland and New South Wales today with the floods. We really hope that you guys are doing okay. It's a big show for you tonight. Despite the floods, we got the news that Blues Fest is still going ahead. Easter weekend, Byron Bay. So I'll get on one of the headliners.
King of the mountain.